They're so bad.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they work in your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they work in your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Is there another one? Is there another one?
Nah.
You got me stuttering out here, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what it do, baby? It's another morning with your crew. Clearly, it's your boy Pride here with the most depressed Lakers fan in the world, Fredward. That dude who want all the smart smoke. Mike, you can tell by his name, clearly the man who teaches me everything I know and the biggest fan of the Portland Trail Blazers, that man, Coach Jay, and Jay McLovin. I don't know much about you, so I don't know what's going to get under your skin, but I'm going to find something about you. But we got Jay McLovin. Hey, yo, how y'all feeling, bros? How y'all feeling today?
Feeling well, man. Two things you messed up on Pride. I want to correct you on something.
See you tomorrow, sleeping.
The first thing I want to correct you on is that, when you introduce Coach, the guy to teach you everything,
Sure.
I understand you respect him. I respect him too. But I teach you everything. Don't be disrespectful. Don't forget. And number two, I'm not no desperate Laker fan. I'm actually happy. I had a good night's sleep this morning. Woke up this morning feeling really great this morning. So I'm not depressed.
He said I had a good night's sleep this morning.
I said last night. You know what I meant.
Anyway,
I'll be honest. After watching the game last night, I had mixed emotions. Number one, I felt great. I slept good. But I was extremely worried about Freddie because, he's hypersensitive. He has panic attacks. He puts all his hopes and dreams into one team. And I really thought he was going to slip into a depression. And if so, I was going to try to slip him some medication. I was worried about Freddie, and I was going to try to give him the suicide hotline phone number because I didn't know what was going to happen when I woke up. Freddie, I'm so glad to see you alive. I'm so glad to see you put your smile on. But your Lakers had no heart, man. No heart.
Oh, man.
Speaking about the Lakers, here comes the $1 million question. Clearly, Russell Westbrook is the problem. If you don't believe it's the problem, you're an idiot. People are going to look at this and say, oh, he got a triple-double. And they're going to talk about this one game. Let's ignore the fact that he was blowing layups like it was a peewee game. The most depressed Lakers fan in the world at Fredward. Let me ask you a question. What do you think the Lakers need to do?
The Lakers need to fire Frank Vogel. He should have been fired this morning. He should have been fired last week.
I hate you. Hate Frank Vogel. It's personal.
Hey, Luke Walton's out there, Freddie.
I would rather Luke Walton over Frank Vogel. I'm sorry, I said it on Real Talk Monday. I would rather Luke Walton than Frank Vogel. And the reason why I say this is because Frank Vogel is a defensive-minded coach. How can you be next to last on defense? That tells me these guys do not buy into your system. These guys do not believe in you as a head coach. Your voice is not being heard in that locker room. What is your rotations? I mean, it's one day it's Russell Westbrook, it's Kent Bazemore, it's Avery Bradley. I mean, you have non-shooters in there. You see when you AD is not the problem. I don't know how you
No,
say
he's absolutely a problem. But let's be honest. Yeah, Frank Vogel is a defensive-minded coach. But the problem is the players you drafted or you brought in for free agency aren't defensive people.
And that's
the problem. No one you drafted that plays any lick of defense is Trevor Ariza.
Well, no, that's not true. When you bring in Avery Bradley, you bring in
who's in the paint? Who's in the paint guarding the paint? Because AD is out of the fucking perimeter like he tried to guard some 3 points.
And so who's in the paint? Well, you have Dwight Howard.
Where's Dwight Howard? He had 0 rebounds yesterday. He played 10 minutes with 0 rebounds.
Real quick, hold on, Freddie. I just want to make sure I clarify your point. Are you saying you want Luke Walton back, not because he's a better coach, but you just feel like anybody would be better because you feel like the team has currently given up on Frank Vogel?
No. At this point of his career, I do believe Luke Walton is a better coach. And I know it's on the limb to say that because we have not, and let's be honest, we have not seen Luke Walton in a great situation. Let's not forget, Luke Walton was a coach for the Lakers when they brought Bron in for the first year with a bunch of young guys. And let's not forget, around December on Christmas Day, we was a top 4 seed before injury. Right when Bron got hurt, Lonzo went down, Ingram went down, injuries, and everything just went left. I'm saying that he will be the players could react to him better. LeBron don't even go talk to him on the bench. He talks to Phil Handy. I wouldn't even be mad they brought in Phil Handy as the head coach or David Fizdale. But I'm just saying Frank Vogel is not the answer. And I believe if after Christmas, if this team do not turn around, he will be fired, and there will be some movement on this roster as well.
Go ahead,
Mike. There has to be movement on the roster because your roster is horrible right now. They have no chemistry and they don't play defense.
The chemistry.
Hold on.
And honestly, though, they lack heart. They lack heart and competitive spirit. Even AD said that they had 0 energy playing.
But now, Freddie, my point is, if Coach Dante is coaching my basketball team, bro, and he is. Coach, I love you. Coach, you're amazing at what you do. It's just an example. But if he is dog shit and he is just completely ignorant to everything, and I'm running the offense the way that Bron was during the Luke Walton era, I say, all right, bye, Coach Dante. A couple years go by, and then he walks back into the office. He walks back onto the court. And he said, hey, guys, I'm back. If you think they don't respect Vogel, wait till Walton comes back. Bron's going to be like, bro, I've already deuced you once. I'll deuce you again. You think I give a shit?
Much.
Like, you don't bring somebody back that was literally just fired. It would be like if the Bears brought back Lovie Smith. You don't do that for the simple fact that, okay, he's already been canned once. How much respect are you really going to have in this organization when you walk back in the room? You're not.
And let me
it's going to have to come from an outside source and not necessarily like players like he said that they've already had.
Let me just make sure I'm understanding your point, Freddie. You're not saying that the number 1 person on their list should be Luke Walton.
No.
You're just basically saying if you have to pick between Luke Walton and Frank Vogel.
Because me personally, I would go with Phil Handy. I would go with David Fizdale. I would look at a Mark Jackson. I would even look at an Eric Watson. I'm not sure that might be screwing his name up.
I think you should just do it, bro.
Oh, the one who used to coach the Phoenix.
Right? Hey, Mike. Hey, Genie, fly me out there. I'm headed out there right now. I got a good suit. I can stand on the sideline. Hey, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say, hey,
you're going to wear that blue and yellow shirt, Pride.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yo, Coach, let me ask you a question. Let's take Russell Westbrook out the equation, right? What other problems do you see on this roster that they need to fix and they need to fix now?
Well, first of all, you got a lot of defensive players that you brought in the offseason, but the problem is they're inconsistent in shooting the ball. Kent Bazemore, he played himself off the floor. The lack of rotations, DeAndre Jordan still starting. Anthony Davis getting you 20 points and only 6 rebounds. You got Horton Tucker playing 29 minutes and 0 points. Yeah, you play 29 minutes and you scored no points. That's pathetic and that is horrible. You can't have anybody on this team that's not producing. That's not producing. So some of these guys are not producing. They're progressing on defense. The perimeter defense is terrible. The rotations is bad by Frank Vogel. One game he comes in with DeAndre Jordan. Next game he comes in with a better lineup. So he's too inconsistent. Dwight Howard played 10 minutes. He does nothing but foul. So you got lack of production. You got Wayne Ellington even playing. He's not getting you nothing. So you got all these guys. If you take out the equation of Russell Westbrook, this team may not be that much more better with this team, with this roster they got. So again, it's more than Russell Westbrook. It's Russell Westbrook is part of the problem, but he's not all the blame. That goes on through the whole organization. And plus them botching that Buddy Hield trade where they shouldn't have got Buddy Hield, a perimeter shooter, instead of getting Russell Westbrook that fits their team, that Buddy Hield fits their team more better. So it's a lot of problem coaching, rotations, and a lot of players just not giving production. And the defense is not even good at all. So again, that's what it all comes down to it.
You know, they didn't play Rajon Rondo yesterday.
I was just about to point that out. And I have a problem with that because yesterday when they took Russ out, they had no point guard on the court. They ran the offense to THT. You know he's struggling. I don't like THT started. Not in the starting five. I really don't.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
I just don't like that lineup. I really, really don't.
And I agree with Freddie. You can't have, and if you're starting, you play 29 minutes and score no points. That's no production. You should be starting.
He's that dude. He can score. But the only problem I have with that roster is like THT kind of likes to just play free, right? When you have him with Russ, you're almost relegated.
But you're starting though. That's what I'm saying. I mean, last night he had 0 points. The very next night he had 8. The very next night he had 2 points. So he's getting a lot of opportunities. He just
Coach, it looks like I look at it like this for THT because I watched him play in high school in Chicago. I watched him play in college. I watched him play early on. The problem with THT is THT to me is what Kuzma thinks he is. Now, when Kuzma goes to Washington, everyone's like, oh my God, it's a huge difference. It's really not. He's averaging 2 more points than he did with the Lakers. There's no difference whatsoever. Now, THT goes to an actual team other than outside of the Lakers. I think he's actually very successful. I think he develops very well. I think the fact that he doesn't have consistent minutes, you're going to see nights like these. His development's getting shot because he's on a championship caliber team, which you can give and take, which one you'd rather have. But, you could always develop later on and win a couple chips now. So I'm sure he has no problem with that. But at the end of the day, I looked at this, and Freddie, I don't think he is the problem. But in this game, I think he was. Russell Westbrook did his thing. Russell Westbrook had a triple-double, 31 points, 10 assists, and 13 rebounds. Yes or no? I think he has a pretty solid game.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did good. I think he did.
Your boy AD came out and said, hey, Russ, why didn't you play like the first 2 quarters like you did the third quarter?
And another thing,
Jay, let me ask you this.
Vogel.
Why is Anthony Davis getting out rebounded 6-16 by Julius?
Because he don't play in the paint. He's out of the perimeter.
Well, to his credit, AD was weak last night. He had some kind because he's been rebounding really good this year. He had some kind of virus. You could tell his shot was off. I mean, he was sick yesterday. He was sick yesterday, so we got to give him that. I mean, his shot was short. He missed like 4 or 5 free throws, bro.
I can't give him that excuse, and this is why.
You can.
As a player, I'm gonna tell you why. As a player, you know yourself better than anybody. If there's something going on with you, and you know it, and you say, you know what, I can play through it and help my team, you are now saying, what I'm going through is minor, and I can perform.
No, Anthony Davis' situation is different. You know why? Because everybody want to call him out, say he's weak. He's not available for his team. He's always he's what Charles Barkley call him dress clothes Davis. When you hear all that and you try to go out and prove people wrong, you say I'm gonna go out there no matter what and try to play games this year. Hey, this dude, like you seen him on the free throw line, bro. His shots was like he wasn't just missing free throws. They were short. They were short.
Right, I know, I get it, but I'm not gonna give him a pass because he was on that court. I'm not gonna give him a
Well,
pass.
that's okay. You might not, but I will because I know the situation.
Why is Anthony Davis out of the perimeter when he should be down low trying to help out in the interior?
It's because he can guard it. He can guard perimeter players. He's probably the best perimeter defender we have.
Yeah, like it's the way the Knicks lineup was too. It's the way the lineup was when you're not in the paint.
Even fully
because Julius Randle can shoot. He can shoot on the outside, so that's why Anthony Davis have to guard outside. That's why it's a lineup. It's a lineup problem as well. Julius Randle can shoot. He just can't. He don't play inside, so that's why Anthony Davis is coming out of the paint, and that's why Russell Westbrook being able to get some of those rebounds because Anthony Davis has to play out the paint. He's not guarding Rudy Gobert or nothing like that. So he was guarding a Randle that's very skilled, that can dribble, that can play in the post and play outside. So. Again, and another thing I want to touch on, the zone defense was working and discombobulating the New York Knicks. Why did Frank Vogel get away from that in the fourth quarter? He got up out of the zone, and Emmanuel quickly in that fourth quarter was able to dominate. Yes. So I don't understand. Frank Vogel, the zone was killing them. That's what got them back in the game. When they were playing zone, they could not get an open shot. They were turning the ball over. All of a sudden, he takes the zone defense out. And Emmanuel quickly was able to feast off that pick and roll and stuff and was killing them in that fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, and you're right, because at one point they were down, 25?
Yep.
Like they were down really.
And that's the problem.
Yes. And that's when they went to that zone defense.
And two things, you guys, that's a problem. Because, it's all about habits. Teams, when they played the Lake, when they used to play Golden State, they was afraid of Golden State. When they played against, that team, this team, you look at this Laker team, teams like, we can get a big lead. They're not going to come back. We've seen it multiple times this year where Lakers get down in big leads, and they got to work so much harder, work up so much energy to get themselves back in the game. And when they do, they burnt out. And number two, like I was saying just a minute ago, I did not like the fact that Rondo did not play because we needed a point guard in that second unit bad. We needed one very bad, and we did not have nobody.
Well, I mean, what you needed was your franchise player, but he wants to go and punch people in the face. So that's
right. Well, I understand that, but Rondo would not have been.
Was Carmelo Anthony going to step up? He went 3 for 14, 2 for 8 from the 3-point line. At what point is he going to step up and be an X factor coming off the bench?
That's your problem, Jay. You brought him in at what age?
All year.
Freddie, I don't care what you say. You brought Carmelo Anthony in at a time in his life where he's not going to be the X factor. He's going to have nights where he goes off, but you just can't say on certain nights, hey, I need you to do this, because that's just not him right now. That's not him anymore. And unfortunately, that's the majority of this roster. You're not going to have a lot of these guys be able to fill in this role. Talen's too young. Monk is too young. Kendrick's too young. You have Carmelo, Dwight, Rondo. They're all too old. Then you have Russ, who it doesn't matter what timeline you put Russ in, dog shit. Mm-hmm. And then AD, who don't matter what timeline you put him in, he's going to tear his groin the second he steps on the field or steps on the court. That's just the problem. You have to count on
That's
Bron,
not the problem,
and that's why this team will only go as far as Bron will take them.
Now, and we all know when the time get hard, where does Bron go? Bron gets off the bench and goes to the locker room. So there's your Bron.
I mean, I go too.
No, he goes to the locker room. He disappeared. That's why they got kicked out of the first round against the Cavaliers. Bron was in the locker room because he couldn't handle it.
It was the Suns that they lost in the first round to the Cavaliers, but every single player does that.
No, I want to piggyback on what Mike just said. You know what the Lakers' really problem there is? It's not nothing dealing with age, nothing dealing with that. Okay, because if we correct these things, we're blowing out teams. And let's just be honest. Turnovers is a huge issue. When you turn over the ball 16 times a game, I expect Coach Dante's Houston Rockets to do that because they're a young team. But this veteran team, you're turning the ball over 16 times a game. That's horrible. Defense. These guys, how long you guys been in the league? You've been in the league this amount of time. There's no way in hell that our defense will be as bad as it is. Number 3, our shot clock, our shot management. Our shot management is horrible. We go up there, we go on the run. Russ takes a deep three. You see these guys taking taking a three. AD not getting the post. So it's nothing to do with age. Is we cut those turnovers to like 7 turnovers a game. We tighten up on defense. This can be a really good team, and that's what we're lacking. And that's why I say you have to blame the coach, because I do not believe that they are bought into Frank Vogel's system. I just don't believe.
I just don't think they have the stamina to play consistent D and play offense. I just don't think a lot of them do.
Well, we don't have to play defense every possession. We've always said this, that it's timely defense. And
that's what I'm saying, though. They're all playing defense at different times. They're never doing it together collectively as a group. There's always someone that's getting exposed, and that's the problem.
I mean, yeah, but I mean that is credit to the other teams who understand.
Without a doubt.
You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, I understand your point. When the only time I'm really concerned with the whole stamina thing is them constantly have to come back from behind. Because like you said, they against the Knicks, they were there, and then they couldn't really finish it off, you know. And
get gassed.
Especially when you get to if they let this become a pattern, and let's say come playoffs they're doing this, I don't know a lot of teams you can just be and you can beat down 25 plus and then just come back. You know what I mean? Like, to be able to do that consistently throughout the play, it's gonna be tough. So I mean, look, Freddie, your Lakers do have some problems, but I'm gonna say this, and I mean this. I don't think it's fair to blame the entire thing on Frank Vogel.
No. He won you a championship. No one says a word when he wins you a championship.
No. We was complaining. Laker fans was complaining then because his rotations were bad then.
His rotations were bad, but guess what? It was enough to get the job done, and that's the point. If he had Buddy Hield, I'm very curious to see how he plays now and how those rotations look. But with Russ, I mean, respectfully, that's on Bron.
And then you had a chance to rest your players when you were sitting in a zone defense the whole time when you were stopping them. Yeah. So that take away a lot of energy from them. Now you go back into one-on-one. You go back in playing man-to-man and then getting eaten up by pick and rolls. And plus you got players going right past you. That tires you out as well. Where it was working when they was playing zone defense. When they was playing the 3-2 zone, where you have 3 players on the wing and 2 people back, that was working. And Frank Vogel just basically took it away from by going man. So again, the perimeter defense is a problem because they can't stop anybody from getting in the paint. And then I'll say it's just a lot more things going on than Russell Westbrook and Frank Vogel. This is a whole organization and a team issue right here. It just everybody's inconsistent shooting the ball. I mean, Avery Bradley inconsistent. He can play defense, but he's inconsistent. Bazemore, we know why he's on the bench. He's inconsistent. So again, when you need a play, you got to be able to trust your stars. Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook to make plays. They haven't been able to do that.
Right, and not to make an excuse for Freddie, but the same thing that Freddie said, the Lakers were top 4 at Christmas 2018. Just as easily as you can be top 4, you could be bottom of the barrel. But by the end of it, they can figure it out. The same way that the Lakers weren't top 4 by the end of the year and missed the playoffs with Bron being out is the same way that the second Bron is back and the second this team starts to gel, the second guys start getting there, they can definitely make a run. So
Can I answer that, please?
No, not yet. When we get to the NFL part, I promise, Freddie, I'm going to ask you. I promise. And I'm going to give you the floor.
Hey, when we get to that NFL, I'm going to hurt some feelings.
But look, I mean, the Lakers clearly they got some issues. I mean, and we all agree it's not just Russ, it's not just coach. There's a lot of problems that they have. Granted, they don't need to fix all the problems. They really don't. They just need to fix enough where you can now mask some of the problems that you can't handle and some of the problems that you can't fix. That's what they need to do. Hopefully they can. But speaking of another team that got problems, the Denver Nuggets. After last year, everyone expected they had high expectations for them. Injuries hit. They're 9-9 and are 8th in the West. So I'm gonna start with you, Jay McLovin. do you think the Nuggets can overcome the injuries? Because I don't know if you heard, Michael Porter Jr. is possibly out for the year.
And
Yeah.
PJ,
No, I don't think they can. You got
PJ
Joker
Dozier
out
went out
with a
last
wrist
night.
injury
Yeah,
they
with
had no
20, yeah.
timetable on Joker. They got no timetable on DeRozan, who just went down with a knee injury. Murray is still rehabbing a torn ACL. God knows how long that's going to come. And if he is, how healthy will he be back coming off of ACL? Because that's a pretty significant injury. So it's going to take him to a little while to route into form. I mean, all your key guys are hurt. So how do you come back from that? Especially when you don't know any timetables for any of them. No, I think for this year, I think the Denver Nuggets are, they're going to be competitive, but this is just not going to be their year. And it is just because of all the seriousness and uncertainty of those injuries.
Yeah. Go ahead, Coach.
I mean, I agree with him, man. Like I say, you got Jamal Murray was hurt last year, but the problem is he was hurt late in the year. He got hurt late in the year, so that takes a lot of time for you to come back. PJ Dozier, one of their best, probably their best defender, and he's a pretty decent player. Tore his ACL up last night. You got Aaron Gordon doesn't play until he's up to par when he was Orlando, but then again, he didn't need to play like that because when you have Jokic and you have Monte Morris and guys like that, you're now basically you're a role player. You're not the number one option. This team does not. Like I said, this team is going to be competitive. They're going to be competitive. I don't know when Jokic is going to come back. Michael Porter Jr. Is hurt. He hurt again for the season. His rookie year was his back. This year, I don't know what it is now. Okay. So that's gonna hurt him. I think it's gonna hurt Denver. In the way this Western Conference is, and Utah, and all of these teams is Memphis up and coming, the Mavericks, the Clippers, still a playoff team. I think it's gonna be too much for Denver to overcome. You don't have a timeline when these people are coming back at all. So I think Denver is going to be main competitive in a Western Conference. I think Mike Malone is a good head coach. He turned this organization around, but the injuries will be way too much to overcome. And these are long-term injuries. These are not just short-term injury. These are long-term injuries. So, again, I think Denver is in trouble, and I might not see them making the playoffs this year, to be honest.
Freddie, I saw you nodding. I'm assuming that you're kind of in line with everything Coach is saying, huh?
I'm not gonna say they're gonna miss the playoffs because I still think if you still have Joker, he still gives you a good chance. But I don't think they will go as far if I would pick them if they was healthy. Because we know when that team's intact, we have Jamal Murray. He can give you buckets, elevates his game. We kind of start seeing a trend like we see with Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs. He take his game to that next level. But it sucks that right now the best player on the court is Aaron Gordon. And he's kind of like in the same situation he was in Orlando. He can't lead a team by himself. They need to try to get Joker back as quick, fast, in a hurry, if possible. What's up, Mitch? How you doing today? They're in trouble. I actually had the Nuggets beating the Suns in the playoffs last year if they was fully healthy. And I'm sorry, Iverson. I know you're watching, but I really did because I didn't think.
I agree.
They need.
I think they beat them.
Yeah, they need a Murray really bad, but I don't know. I mean, just really like Nate said in the comments, it really depends what they do the trade deadline as well. But I don't see them get out the first round.
Yeah, Mike, I'm assuming you with him too.
Well, in all honesty, I think now that Michael Porter Jr. has his bag, I would move on from him immediately because you can bring in another star with that money. And Ben Simmons is there.
Did they pay him?
They did.
Yeah,
they paid him, and he's been hurt 2 out of 3 years for the whole season.
Like $200 million. So that's.
I'm about to look up his exact contract right now.
I think it's like 220 or something. But no, at the end of the day, I truly do think if you trade Michael Porter Jr. and a shit ton of picks for Ben Simmons, I think it works out for the Denver Nuggets. I understand he has this work ethic issue, but a lot of people misconstrue this. People's work ethic is based off of what they want to work at. And if you don't want to work in Philly, then you're not going to have a good work ethic. Now, if you go somewhere else where you have Jokic, you have Jamal Murray, you have Aaron Gordon, you have all these guys, I feel like Ben can just kind of be himself, not have to be too much, doesn't have this big spotlight on his back of just being like, okay, I have to be the number one guy. I have to facilitate the ball. You don't. You can play the 4. You can do whatever you want to do. You bring great defense. Jokic and Ben Simmons. I mean, I feel like that helps Joker a lot. Where he kind of lacks is sometimes he lacks on that defensive role. I think it definitely would save you. And I'm just not that high on Michael Porter Jr. anymore, just for the simple fact that these back injuries are just so consistent now, and even after all the surgeries, it just keeps happening. You usually get lucky. You either have the surgery and never have that problem again, or that surgery is honestly going to be what continuously re-injures you. You see it with Rob Gronkowski all the time. So I look at it like that, and I do think here comes Nate. You going? I'm shitting on his dreams, but Michael Porter Jr. I know you just paid him, but you have to move on from him. And if you could get Ben Simmons, I'd do it.
I don't think Philadelphia is going to take that trade. I don't think Philadelphia wants Michael Porter Jr. for Ben Simmons. I think that doesn't get them any further along than where they are right now. So I don't think that trade is going to work. Otherwise, I think they would have already looked at something like that. I think Ben is going to be there until something comes along that's going to be equal value for Ben.
Right, but at one point you're going to have to sit there and realize nothing's coming along.
True, but here's his contract. By the way, he can't be traded until July 1st. That's a trade restriction. He's in the final year of his rookie contract. So they're not paying him for that big contract that they paid him. That doesn't start off until next year, which shout out to Michael Porter Jr. You got that bag, and now you're getting surgery. Shout out to you. I mean, you handle your business, but go ahead, Nate.
So I actually have to agree with Mike about what he said about Michael Porter Jr. I've been saying that since, they traded oh gosh, I'm forgetting his name, but we released a guy and he went over to the Pistons. I can't remember his name.
Was it Jeremy Grant? Was it Jeremy Grant?
Ever since we released Jeremy Grant, I just felt like he wasn't really really the same guy, and that the Nuggets were going to struggle, and they did at the beginning. They ended up pulling it off towards the end, but they did at the beginning. I haven't been high on. Even without his injuries, I have not been high on Michael Porter Jr.
Right.
Since Nuggets wanted him to become an all-star.
Right.
I mean, maybe it's just me. I mean, I like Michael Porter Jr. I do like him. It is the injury. Yeah, it's the injury concern for me. And again, I think either Jay or Dante, I think it was Coach that said it. The injuries are long-term injuries. It's not something where, I took
You're 21 and just had your first back surgery. Like,
right. Like think about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's a serious injury in the back. Anytime you have back surgery, that's crazy.
Involving your back, it's serious because the thing is, it's either A, like I think Mike, you said this, you're either lucky enough where it gets fixed immediately, or B, in layman's terms, you're fucked and you got to deal with this for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like,
when you're playing basketball,
that's even worse.
It's not. You're not gonna get that lucky shot with a back injury.
No, that's what it is. You're not.
Back. Hey, out of all the injuries there is, back injury is the one that never really truly goes away. You can strengthen it as much as you can, but you're always gonna have issues with it. Look at Tiger Woods, for crying out loud. How long has he been dealing with back injuries? And he still ain't never been right. Yeah, and I mean, that's the bad thing about the back. The knees, you can kind of get by with the knees. You kind of get by with the shoulder. You can get the back. It's just that once you have the first surgery, it's just the first surgery of many more to come, and you're always going to be battling that.
No, 100%. You're screwed.
To answer Damien's question, Nuggets, Rockies, or Broncos, who's the worst right now? And that, without a question, it's the Rockies.
Oh, not even close.
It's not even close.
I just watched our best player in Trevor's story,
and well, I say this being my second favorite team, we're about to lose Trevor's. We just did lost Trevor's story.
Hey, Yoel, that's the reason why Michael Jordan was able to go on that run, because if it wasn't for Larry Bird's back, Michael Jordan wouldn't go on that run. Let's just be honest.
You come into the argument. I don't like playing ifs. I don't like playing.
Well, I'm just saying, hey, that's just being honest.
Freddie, if Derrick Rose didn't tear his ACL, he'd fuck up Ron for years.
No, he wouldn't have.
Hey, Mike, one thing that you failed to realize, Kobe Bean Bryant is my dude. He's my dude. Bron's not
he's your dude now. I'm asking, he's your dude now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah. No doubt.
There are rumors going around that you switch your guys like a woman switches her tampon on her
Well,
period.
Pride, you can say that.
That's true.
So I'm trying to figure
Jeremy
out.
Lovin. Hey, Jay, have you ever met Pride before?
No, first time.
I'm gonna introduce you to Pride real quick. Hold on.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
I just wanted you to introduce you to Pride.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's a crazy statement there.
Freddie, are you done? Are you done, Freddie?
Yeah, I just had to introduce you to him. He never.
That's a hell of an introduction.
That was his very first show on the network.
Yeah, and by the way, you asked me that question 10 times to get the same answer. I love it. I don't care. What, Freddie? You expect me to apologize or something?
Hey, I just want the America to know how crazy you sound.
Pride. I heard you out.
Oh, listen. All I'm
You
saying,
was wrong, but I heard you out.
I'm not. And look, that's fine. That's fine. All I'm saying, look, I'm saying this right now, Freddie. If you wait for an apology, I got bozos still waiting for an apology for something they did wrong. So, Freddie, if you wait for an apology, you're gonna be waiting a long time.
Well,
you might go see Armageddon before you hear this apology.
Hey, I don't need
no apology from me whatsoever.
Hey, I'm just sorry that you just didn't watch great basketball.
I got crybabies still following me, waiting for an apology. I got people who done me wrong and they crybabies still waiting for an apology. So, Freddie,
I have a crazy NFL hot take, but that's soon.
Yeah, that's later. I low-key want to hear that, but I'm not even wasting my time. I'm not getting into this conversation with you, Fredward.
So Joe McLovin, just remember when you hear something crazy, just remember where it came from.
Relax.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
No,
I got you.
Again, that's fine. At the end of the day,
I wish I had a speaking voice like Jay.
I don't care whatsoever. I don't care at all. NBA today, your horrendous 9-10 Lakers go to Indiana to play the Pacers. Y'all better win this game, Freddie.
Yo, Freddie, look at me in my eyes, bro. Be careful. I don't want to talk about it, but just be careful with them, dog. They messed up my Bulls, dog. We had 77 points. I said, holy shit, what the hell just happened?
Hey, just don't worry. Bron coming back tonight. We're going to take care of our business.
Yeah, tonight should be a really good game. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that one.
Hey,
if Bron can actually do something.
Y'all sleep on Sabonis, though. Sabonis is dog.
As much as I talked trash about the Nuggets earlier, there is one thing that I will have to say to defend them. We defeated the Pacers with no Joker.
Don't say we. Get out of here, Nate. Don't say we. You're not gonna bash them and all of a sudden be like, nah, we. No, Nate. No.
Yeah.
No, Nate. You don't get.
They're my team, so of course I will say we.
No, you're not allowed to, Nate. You like Freddie. Yeah, when things get tough, y'all bail on your team.
Who? I've never bailed on my team.
I don't have two favorite teams, so no, I'm not like Freddie.
No, Nate, you are like me. No.
That's right. I mean, come on.
Nate is a Dallas Mavericks fan and a Nuggets fan. Stop. He's a
the New York Packers is the best damn team ever, and Freddie will stand by that every step of the way.
I'm not a Packers fan. I'm a New York Giants fan. Nate's like the Nuggets and the Mavericks, but nobody ever bring that up.
You talked about the Green Bay Packers more often than I talked about the.
No, I talk about Aaron Rodgers. I'm talking about the Green Bay Packers, Nate. Now go to sleep.
Hold on. We're gonna get to that later. But hold on. Let's talk about some of the games today. Obviously, Lakers at Pacers, Hornets at Magic, Suns at Cavs, Nets at Celtics. Destroyed. Wizards at Pelicans, Bulls at Rockets. Dante, you're
Dante, I can see your Bulls winning tonight. I really can.
I'm the Rockets fan. I'm not the Bulls fan.
I think the Rockets can beat the Bulls tonight.
Until I see that happen, I don't think we're gonna be able to do it.
Hold that thought, because that's something we definitely gonna have to talk about. Heat at Timberwolves, Jazz at Thunder, Pistons at Bucks, Raptors at Grizzlies, Hawks at Spurs, 76ers at Warriors, Trailblazers at Kings.
Sorry,
Mike out here looks like he just literally had some spoiled cheese. He got to wash it down. Freddie, I'm gonna give you the floor. Explain why you believe the Rockets have a chance to defeat the Bulls.
Because they do not have nobody to be able to stop Christian Wood. I believe he will keep them on the interior. They were just going to feed him and let him work. I believe Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan will have a bad shooting game tonight. They will not get the job done. The Rockets will not turn the ball over more than 12 times tonight. They will finally start buying into Coach Silas' system. They've seen him on the hot seat. You see the rumors, so they're going to start buying into him to start fighting hard for him as well. I just don't think this Bulls team is going to be motivated to play this game. It's going to be an upset. They're too busy worried about that turkey, that dressing, that ham, and they're going to be hungry. So
yeah, talk now.
Go ahead. Yeah, Mike.
For the first time in 10 games, Nikola Vucevic will be back tonight. All-star center. So,
but he's not a defensive-minded center, so let's just.
Wasn't talking.
But he's good defensively.
Huh?
He's solid defensively.
He's solid.
I mean, he's not the best, but he can hold it down.
Anyways, we're gonna sit here and pretend like Freddie's ever watched a Bulls or Orlando Magic games and he knows Nikola Vucevic. So I'm not gonna sit here and debate with that because I know he never has. With that being said, I'm sitting here right now, Freddie. Watch your mouth, bro. Watch your mouth, or I'm gonna have to come back to LA and beat your ass again, bro. With or without Brown. I don't care.
Hey,
bro.
just know December 19th, you coming to our house.
All you want, but guess what? You was down 30 before AD fouled out, and you was down 30 when it ended. So I don't.
Hey, when you played us in LA?
You're not in
Hey, just know, no matter what we play you, we coming for that business.
Can I just say something? You want to talk about getting out rebounded? We rebounded you with Javonte Green. Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis was shivering, bro. Javonte Green is 6'7", bro.
Just know when we come to Chi-Town, just know when we come to Chi-Town in December 19th, AD coming home.
Listen, bro,
he can come and get some of that
I'm
good.
I'm talking to Coach right now. I'm
talking to you.
I'm not talking to you, though.
But I'm talking to you, though.
Bro, don't talk to me, bro.
Exactly. This is what I do. Hey, Tay, this is what I do. I give out lessons on this show.
You ain't teaching me
shit. Listen, hey, Freddie, you already know how I get down. When the pain come, I know how to bring it back. Dante, you know, when I'm saying, been to other shows, I bring it. Especially on Sundays when we do the morning show. You got to come on the morning show, Freddie. On Sundays, you got to come on that show. We get to then.
Yeah, our injured Nuggets team right now will probably end up.
Wait, why are you still talking about the Nuggets,
just
bro?
saying.
Yeah, we talking about
the Nuggets. I'm trying to compliment Coach over here, man.
I already know. Like again, I know.
I just want to say, Christian Wood is a dog. Green, all these cats, they're dogs. I love every single thing about them. I think they're.
I got Christian Wood on my fantasy too.
I do too. He's a bucket, bro. Like I will not ignore that man, but. You know, Freddie wants to sit here, and here's my problem. Oh, I think LaVine and DeMar are going to have off nights. Okay, well, top 5 players in scoring right now are both DeMar and LaVine. So I guess you can make that statement, and if you put money on it, hey, maybe you'll make a lot of money because there's a lot of doubters out there saying that they're not.
I give the Bulls one playoff win series this year. The next year, they'll probably go a little further.
I definitely think so. But if we're just talking about
you've been nicer than me.
Beating the Rockets tonight, bro. Freddie, don't talk to me when you're a first-round exit, bro, and LeBron quit on you.
But Mike, don't talk to me when your Bulls haven't been relevant since Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
And when were the Lakers relevant after Kobe and before Bron?
I can't really talk. I can't really argue in basketball. My team is Spurs. My team ain't been relevant since 2014, so
tell me where I'm wrong.
Can't say too much.
If LeBron stayed in Cleveland or went back to Miami, you still wouldn't be relevant.
Yes, we would. Because we was going to turn. We was coming back to glory. We was coming back to glory, Mike. We had a young team that we was building for something. We was going to get somebody. If it wasn't LeBron, we was going to get Kawhi. If it wasn't Kawhi, we was going to get PG-13. We was going to get somebody.
He wasn't getting shit.
We was.
I mean, but hold on. To be fair,
you really weren't, Freddie. That's a true statement.
Hey, Freddie, you a Lakers fan, Freddie? You a Lakers fan, Freddie?
Mm-hmm. Dude, you had a better chance at Magic coming back himself than getting.
No, but hold on.
So can you please explain to me what's up with Russell Westbrook?
Hey, don't worry, we gonna fix him. He getting fixed right now.
I'm just
Tell
saying,
that man,
me and
tell that
Colts
man,
are gonna have a great game
tell
tonight.
that man stop wearing Kanye dresses. Tell that man stop wearing Kanye dresses. He can play better.
Mike, I will say this, because you said they didn't have a chance at Kawhi. They low-key did. Because remember, Kawhi wanted to go to LA till Bron got there, and then all of a sudden, him and PG were Clippers for life. Talk about they grew up watching the Clippers. So I'm not going to sit here and say it would have been impossible, because a lot of people did want to go to LA.
He didn't want to play with Bron.
When would that have happened, though? That would have happened.
Kawhi didn't want to play with LeBron. That's why he ain't go.
Exactly. So we was go get somebody. We ain't like the Chicago Bulls that who've been down there for years that nobody wanted to take your money.
I'll say this time and time again, Freddie, but you always bring it up. And I don't my guy on the left, I never met him before, but I'm gonna ask this question to you too.
What's up?
If I'm broke for 21 years of my life, I don't have a dollar to my name, right? Let's say my Chicago Bulls are the same scenario since the 90s. Not relevant, right? And then I win the lottery tomorrow. Are you still gonna call me broke? Because my Bulls are back. Oh, okay.
They not back. No, I can't call you. Okay, so I can't call you broke because you was broke yesterday, but you're not broke now. If you won a lottery, that's just like if you broke now, you get paid.
Why is this man still sitting there?
They still broke. What do you mean? What have they accomplished?
The Bulls are not broke because they was able to pick up Lonzo, DeRozan, and they picked up some good players. For them to, that's why I said they won't make it to the playoffs with that team because the East not really that stacked like that. So they have an opportunity to make them to really have a good playoff. But they were broke. They wouldn't be able to pick up. They wouldn't be able to pick up them players if they was broke.
We're not talking about money. We talking about winning games. What have they done lately? They haven't done nothing.
Okay, I'm about to answer your question, Frank. Let me tell you this. When LeBron is not on the floor, the Lakers suck. And it shows. Carmelo, an old-ass Carmelo had to save y'all. An old-ass Carmelo had to
save my question, though. You didn't answer my question because you know I'm telling the truth because the Bulls haven't accomplished anything.
So I just want to point it out, though. We just went 10-4 against 5.
Oh, you want a cookie? You want a cookie? You did that in the regular season. What's going to happen in the playoffs?
You just got exited in the first round last year. What have you done lately?
We won a championship a year ago. That's what we've done lately.
It's a bubble.
First of all,
y'all barely beat Miami in the championship. They was hurt. Bane was hurt. Dragic
barely.
Y'all beat a banged up Miami team. And then LeBron had a nerve. Hold on. Then LeBron had the nerve to say, I'm the GOAT. No, you're not. You got damn near 10 losses in the finals. Like, nigga,
he's number 4. He's number 4.
Doesn't matter how many times you go. It's about how many times you win. I can go to the finals 30 times, but if I only win one, I only got one championship. It doesn't matter how many times you go.
He's not the GOAT. He's number 4. But to sit up here and say that the Chicago Bulls are back and they haven't even won a playoff game, that's delusional. That's very delusional.
The Lakers are a broken team, and the Bulls are a team that's on the rise. They're number 3, and they're doing well. You guys are broken, Freddie. The Lakers are a broken team.
Jay was
the Chicago Bulls. They've been broken for how many years now? Get out of here.
Westbrook going to be the reason why y'all season fell. Watch. Westbrook going to be the reason. Watch. I'm trying to tell you, Westbrook going to be he's a cancer to every team he goes to. Westbrook going to be the reason why y'all fell. I'm trying to tell you. It's going to happen. It happens every team he go on. It never works with nobody. He's a cancer.
Pride. I just want to say.
Go ahead, Mike. I've been trying to get it, but no one want to listen. Go ahead, Mike.
Right, I'll just leave it at this.
My fault.
Freddie, I'm just telling you right now, the same reason you owe me $25 is the same reason I'm saying the Bulls are back. I told you that the Suns were real before the playoffs even started, and I was right. And you said they weren't. I'm telling you right now, this team is real, and they can go deep.
Mike, what did I say? What did I say, Mike?
You said put 100 on it, and I said I ain't trying to take it.
No, I did not say that. What I said was that the Phoenix Suns got lucky, just like the Milwaukee Bucks. Because if the Brooklyn Nets was healthy, the Bucks wasn't going. the Lakers team was healthy, the Phoenix wasn't good.
The big ass foot was on the line, so that's why they ain't winning.
Exactly.
Watch your foot.
So it wasn't lucky. It wasn't lucky for us. Milwaukee was there for us.
It is what it
Listen,
is.
I'm sure it was the finals this year, not the way James Harden looked. And James Harden looks like he gained 300 pounds.
Well, Brooklyn ready for Kyrie Irving to come back. They begging that man.
I don't even know if they even talking to Kyrie.
Kyrie, send Westbrook to the Nets, and y'all better get Kyrie. That's the only way that's gonna work.
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what. If Kyrie come to LA, watch Kyrie be the perfect Saint, because he can't go. He can't do that foolishness under LeBron.
He don't give a fuck about LeBron.
Hey, but LeBron in Cleveland had him under control.
He said he don't.
I wouldn't have him under control, but
you look at Kyrie numbers. He was there. LeBron had a hell of a series, but Kyrie was right under him. They made it seem like they said so much about LeBron. They gave Kyrie no credit. If Kyrie don't hit that shot and LeBron don't make that block, they lose. They lose. If Kyrie don't hit that three and LeBron don't block that shit, they lose.
What I'm saying is,
your team sucks.
Hey, Spotlight, you know what? I see your comment on there. You know what? Let's be honest. Ever since I got on your behind about your sorry Raiders, you haven't been on the show since. You haven't been on the show since.
I love when Freddie does this. I love when Freddie does this.
No, my bro.
And he's losing it. He immediately switches the conversation. Immediately.
But what I was saying was, this Brian want to take over. When we saw Kyrie under Braun,
this is what I keep telling you, Mike. It's a rabbit hole with Freddie.
Kyrie Irving was
he intentionally
at all
changes the conversation so you follow him, so you ignore what we was talking about, Freddie. Bring it back over here, Freddie. Don't talk about
It's all right, because you know what? We can only run from the Bulls for so long. And at some point, the playoffs are going to start, and then they're in your face, and we're here to stay. So instead,
okay, y'all ain't going past the first round. You can book it.
Oh, so we're both leaving in the first round.
No, my team making a championship run, while your team is going home.
Your team isn't the same team that won a championship.
It's about that. I see that you're working, but you know what? Hey.
Oh yeah, go back.
Ever since I got on them Raiders, I don't see you doing no more shows.
Keep talking to someone who's not even here, bro.
Well, Freddie late in the playoffs, he gonna go tuck under his blanket. He gonna put his tail between his legs and cry.
You know what? When we win the championship, all of y'all are gonna be looking crazy. Jay McLovin will be, Coach Dante will be, Mike.
I won't be looking crazy because I don't give a damn about no damn Lakers, so I won't be looking crazy.
No, the way y'all criticize us.
Oh yeah, of course. They
Russell Westbrook.
They supposed to have the best roster on paper. Of course, if something go wrong, of course we gonna criticize their ass. Just like I criticize every one of my teams. Of course, y'all supposed to be the best team.
The problem with the Lakers is y'all look good on paper, but it just doesn't transcend to the court. You look good on paper, but it don't transcend.
I'm gonna come make y'all. I'm gonna make y'all eat.
Hold on, Freddie, relax. We need a minute. Hold on. We need pineapples. I wasn't ready. Hold on, Jay. Hold on. 1 minute. You see, this is why I love the mute button, because some of y'all needed to take a deep breath and relax. That's what y'all need, right?
This is for Freddie.
Go ahead, Nate.
Hi, Nate.
But Freddie, if the Lakers, you gotta wear the opposite team jersey for a week since you that confident.
Say it again.
If the Lakers lose in the playoffs, you have to wear the team that beat them jersey for a week. It says you that confident in the Lakers.
I'll never do that. I believe one thing. I believe
because you don't have no confidence.
Confidence
in you.
I believe purple.
I believe the Lakers are failure.
Purple and gold.
Hold on, let me, Freddie. I want to play a game with you, Mike, real quick. I want to see just how confident you are, Freddie, because you're bashing the booth, right? I want you and Mike right here. I want to try to make a bet. Who makes it further in the playoffs?
No.
So, okay. So you have no confidence. So why is it your to poo-poo on the Bulls talking about their dog shit?
Because I know what's up. I don't need to satisfy you.
No, you don't know what's up. That's why you won't wear the jersey. You don't know. If you knew, you would wear it. You would take the bet.
Yep. If that's me, I take that confident.
Now you didn't understand what Jay was saying, so he's gonna go put on a Lakers jersey, and that's not at all what Jay was saying.
That's all it is. Yup, that's all it is. That's all it is. He gonna say that I believe in my team, but when you tell him put his money where his mouth is, all of a sudden he's looking shaky, baby.
Yeah.
I wish
Listen, you can't win a championship if you don't have a good foundation to start with, and nothing about the Lakers right now is a good foundation.
Listen,
people who believe that Russell Westbrook was
relevant, man. My Spurs ain't been irrelevant since 2014. But what I'm saying is, if I'm betting, I'm going to bet on my team because I'm confident in my team. If I know we winning the way we supposed to. But if we bet, no, I'm not going to bet. You got a whole team. If you that scared of your team losing, you're not that confident in your team. You know what you are? You are a 300-pound version of LeBron that can't play basketball no more. That's scared to bet.
Pretty much.
I'm not 300 pounds, first of all. And look at here. I got the jersey. I ain't scared of no jersey.
That's not what he said.
That's not what I
That was not me, Freddie. That was not me. Don't yell at me. That was not me.
It wasn't me. I lost control. But
it must be hell being you, Freddie. It must be hell that you can't have that much confidence in your team. It must be hell right now for you. You must be living in torment. I bet when you go to bed at night, you're having dreams of magic. You're having dreams of Kobe being Bryant because you know that your reality, your present day sucks.
And I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to say right now, look, I love LeBron. And when he was with the Cavaliers, I thought, you give me that Bron, I'm good. Now we're looking at an older Bron who unfortunately now the injury is starting to catch up to him a little bit. And now this right here is the part of his career where he should be able to take a back seat. Someone should be able to step up. Unfortunately, I love AD and he's a phenomenal talent. Freddie, you and I, we talked about this a while ago. That edge, that mental edge, that mentalness that I want to go out and do it every night. He doesn't have enough. Now, he doesn't have to be a stone cold killer, but he needs to have enough to a point where they actually have to like look at him and say, oh man, no. Because now people aren't scared of AD no more. And that's a problem. When you're talent-wise, you're a top 5 player, and they don't fear you like that. Like, to me, that's very alarming, and that's very concerning. And again, this is a point
do I have to shave my beard? Do I have to shave my beard or just my hair?
Whoa. So you taking this back?
No, I'm asking him if I do I have to shave my beard? I keep the beard. If I keep the beard, I do it.
That's not the bet. Why he went to the jersey? He just don't have the confidence. Freddie's just like a man of glass. You like glass. I feel like you're gonna get gradually get broke.
The bet is whoever knocks the Lakers out in the playoffs, you have to wear that team's jersey for a week.
I believe purple and gold, my brother. I would never do that. I'm sorry.
Well, you ain't the Lakers.
Cut me open right now. You're gonna see blood. You're gonna see gold, purple and gold come out my skin.
Mike is just fed up with this.
You already purple.
Mike is fed up. Well, I'm gonna say
that's what I do.
I'm gonna say this real quick, and then we'll move on because Freddie.
Mike. Let's put me and Mike on screen. Mike, let's make the bet. Let's make the bet.
What?
If my team go further than you, you gotta shave your head off.
I'm not shaving my head.
Why not?
Because why the fuck would I want to shave my
head? You don't believe me?
I'm not shaving my head, G.
Mike,
you don't believe in your team?
I'll shave my beard. I ain't shaving my head over no basketball.
You lost me, bro. Because you just said that.
Oh, look who showed us, my bro.
That's crazy.
The guy that been running from me.
No.
The guy that been running from me.
My brother don't never run from nobody. He gonna do
that. You run from me.
You don't run from nobody.
You run from me.
We don't run from nobody.
Where is Spotlight? I see his name.
I'm gonna let him handle his business.
He running from me again and down there. He won't come on the screen. He's running from me.
Nah, because we spoken about this before.
He got about 20 points the other night.
So he probably got to go find a better place to get some of the internet because I know.
Nah, he running from me. Ever since I got on about them Cowboy Raiders, ain't heard nothing from him.
Hold up, ain't this the same guy? Ain't your team the Giants?
Huh?
Ain't your team the Giants?
The New York Giants, who's top? tap that tail. The Raiders tail.
Y'all just got spanked, so y'all ain't got no reason to talk about them. Y'all ain't going nowhere.
Or were we not? Yes, we were. But we beat them sorry Raiders, and he ain't been on the show since. Y'all tap that tail.
I don't like the way you say that.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's like I think you and I gonna say the same thing. Freddie got this great talent of misconstruing the story. And it's impressive, Freddie, how you can do it and then trick yourself into believing it. Because Spotlight been screaming for the longest. Yo, I got a job. I'm about to start. It's coming up. He's been screaming that for the longest.
No.
Yes.
No, ever since my Giants tapped that tail, Spotlight has been toned down. He ain't been that crazy person. He ain't been going off. Because I've been spanking that behind, and he's running.
You're sus.
The Giants can't even beat a high school team right now.
Say, who's your team?
We five. My team is the 49ers. We better than y'all right now.
But
Freddie, every team in the league damn near is better than your team. So I don't know why you're trying to flex. There's nothing to flex on. Just like your Lakers. There's nothing to flex on. Lines. That's why you won't take the jersey there. Detroit lines. You can't flex.
The Giants is in last place in their division.
Nate, are you good?
I put myself off, and then somebody keeps throwing me back on there.
They're tripping early in the morning. But you know what? I do this, Mike. I give this why I love Mike, man. I give credit to Mike. As much as I go at him because me and him go at it, he don't run from me. But there's a couple people that you don't run.
I ain't scared of you, folks.
I would never run from you. Never.
Mike,
I can't tell because you know what the first day I met Tay, you know what he told me? Oh, we gotta do a show again. We gotta come on the show. And it took him 3 months. 3 months to come back on here so I could tap on him. So.
I'm not even allowed to go on vacation.
Gee, why you say it like that, G? Stop tapping on dudes.
Wait,
man, stop taking it that way. You taking it that way.
This is not okay.
Oh, hold on. I'm talking to Dante. Dante, anytime we're in the show, where am I at? I'm at work. I work a lot. Like, so I only get on certain shows. When I'm home, I get off 11, 12 o'clock at night. So I don't really be having time on weekends. Then I could get on shows. But I only get on shows on the weekends because I have to work so much. Trust believe
What was said, Freddie? What was said with that ugly ass Lakers jersey on? What was said?
I got it. Ever since I got on them Cowboy Raiders, you have been running from me.
It's called a JOB.
Yeah.
He said JOB.
It's called
I'm just saying, like, if you want to get on here and do a show at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I want to know that you ain't running from me.
Listen, we can do an ASAP in the morning at 3 in the morning. I don't care. What's up?
Wherever I am, I'm here. Hey.
Matter of fact, bring his back.
Yeah, we do ASAP in the morning, 3 in the morning. Hell, I'll do ASAP 3 in the morning just to see Freddie, because we still gonna give you the same amount of crap.
Better get your popcorn ready, Freddie. Get your popcorn ready, brother.
Hey, I ain't eating no popcorn because you know why? You're coming to dominate. That's why I had you run.
Freddie,
even the last time when you did a show.
Freddie, you are eating popcorn because popcorn is the same color as that bum ass Lakers jersey, bro. They bum.
Jersey. What about your Philadelphia 76ers? You bums who talking about trust the process. Trust the process like a tissue that wipe my butt.
Bro, you trusted the process by losing to the Pistons, bro.
Now, what is the Sixers doing right now?
What process y'all had? I mean, we
don't trust no process. We win championships. We don't trust the process. We win championships.
When the story was coming from LeBron, what LeBron do? Well, Freddie always say he was running. He ain't want no smoke. LeBron was about to get his ass whooped. For real. He ran, just like when Freddie always said somebody running from LeBron. Your guy LeBron was running. He knew he was about to get beat up. That's why. I had to say that.
Did you lose to the Raptors? Did you not lose to the Raptors? Can you tell me that?
The Pistons,
bro. What about the Chicago Bulls?
The Pistons is the worst team in the NBA, bro.
Didn't y'all lose to the Chicago Bulls?
Actually, hold on. Spotlight beat my team twice.
Freddie, are you seriously
comparing
the Pistons
to beat your team, Mike?
Actually, the Rockets are the worst team in the NBA.
Trash.
Philadelphia is not trash at all.
They've been trash for years.
They're not trash at all.
Are you seriously
comparing
the Pistons?
They got a point guard that they got the number 1 pick.
Wait a minute.
They can't.
It doesn't matter
just
what
for a-
you say,
just for a
Freddie.
fun
You're
fact
not
out
a
there,
real
you know-
Laker fan, and I'm gonna tell you why.
I'm not a real Laker fan. Oh, but I'm in Southern California. I'm not a real Laker fan. I'm part of more Laker fan than you are Philadelphia Sixers
You're
fan.
lucky I can't get loud, but I'm gonna tell you why.
But they got
I'ma
a
tell
better
you why. When
record
you
than the
say-
Lakers.
When you said, oh, LeBron is a quitter, how that makes you a Laker fan, bro?
Because guess what?
Is
I don't
LeBron a
sugarcoat nothing. I don't sugarcoat. I don't run from it. Like you Philadelphia fans, y'all run from it. I'm more of a Laker fan than you are Philadelphia.
What are you talking about?
How you gonna be an Oakland Raider fan, but you a fan of Philadelphia? That don't make no sense. You need to root for the Philadelphia Eagles.
You live in Texas, right?
I'm a fan of the Dallas Cowboys. That don't make no damn sense. Why you always making no sense, Freddie?
Because the Cowboys are delusional.
You live in Marshall, freaking Texas. Marshall. You ain't in New York. You ain't in LA.
Don't
I'm going to Southern California in a city called Fontana,
Have you ever
California.
taken a plane flight to LA? You ever been to LA?
Yes, I was born in LA.
Hear me out.
You a
Hear
Giant?
me out. Hear me out.
Say,
How you a
Yes,
Giants
I'm a
fan?
Giants
You
fan.
LA?
My
What you
team won
talking
a Super
about?
Bowl. What have
you
your
talking
team
about?
done?
Hold on, we gonna talk. We gonna
Jay.
talk. Freddie, you want to talk? Hold up. He just told me not too long ago, Freddie. You just told that you on the low. Aren't you a Packer fan, bro?
No,
aren't you a Packer
I'm a
fan?
Giants fan. When
Are
have you
you
ever
a
heard
New
me?
York
Packer fan? New York Packer fan.
I'm a Packers fan. When? You never heard those words
As
come
much-
out
you
of my
talk about
mouth.
You talk about the Packers more than you talk about the whole organization in the history of the Giants. You
You
have more
do.
Packers
You
gear.
actually
You
talk
have
more
more
about the
Packers
Packers.
gear.
I never heard you talk about the Giants.
Hey,
I
Jimmy
have never heard you talk
Jimmy
about
Butler, I got something good to say about your Cowboys.
Hey, it's
You know
not
what I
fun
say?
wrestling.
You know when I say what can go wrong will go wrong because they're no longer on your team no more. They are on the Raiders. They are what can go wrong will go wrong. We see too many things go wrong in Vegas. But they are actually waiting to happen.
Breaking news.
So I want to say one thing real quick. It's addressing
Breaking
to Jay.
news. I was just on the phone with Freddie yesterday. Did he just say he picking my Raiders to beat the Cowboys on Thursday? But you
I'm
talking
sure
shit about
am.
my Raiders.
I'm sure
But
I'm
you
going
talking
for
shit
the
about my
Raiders on
Raiders.
Thursday. Let's guess
You
what?
talking
I
shit about my
can't
Raiders.
stand the Cowboys.
You talk, but you said
So-
you don't like the Raiders either, so don't pick either.
No, I'd rather the Cowboys have more than your team.
I understand Freddie living in Texas and being a New York Giants fan because I live in Washington, going from rooting for the Denver Broncos. But he just made fun. Freddie just made fun of Spotlight for being a Raiders and 76ers fan when he's a Lakers and Giants fan who also lives in two different
thank
states.
you, Nate.
But
Thank you, Nate.
Nate, if you would have listened to what I said was that the team that's outrepresented have won. His teams are doo-doo.
I got a question for you, Freddie. When the
He's
last
our-
time- No, answer this question, Freddie. When the last time you were in New York?
Hey, man.
Hold on,
Hey, listen, I just found out that your jersey, you wear Giants jersey, the universal jersey.
Jay,
He
I
got
got
a-
this. I got this, Jay.
I'm about to
Hold
tell you
on,
that.
Jay. I got this. He got a New York Giants jersey, but I've been to MetLife more than you've been a fan of the New York Giants, bro. Let's talk about it.
I disagree.
I
disagree.
Let's talk
You
about
want to talk? You want to talk? How about your own organization do not represent your players?
What are you talking about?
You got Ben Simmons, who you drafted #1, and y'all don't even support the kid. Y'all trash his name. Y'all hurt his mentally, and you get him out and you say, we don't want you. We trust the process, but we don't want you.
Who talking about Ben? Who talking about Ben trash ass Simmons?
You see that? Exactly. And you know what else you do? Bob Jimmy will let you want. We'll let you want the delusional franchise.
Not even, hold on, Freddie. First of all, Philadelphia don't want Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons ain't got no heart. He's soft. Don't nobody want him. I wouldn't even want.
He fits. He fits for Philadelphia. He fits for the 76ers or soft-minded.
Listen, Freddie. Listen, when Ben Simmons comes to the Lakers, Freddie's going to feel the same way. Freddie's going to feel the same way.
No, we don't. No, you know what? We'll welcome Ben Simmons in. You know why? Because we had a player in history that could not shoot that similar game. You know who that name? Who he was? Do you remember who he was? Do you remember where he stand in history? Irvin Magic Johnson. We know how to turn players.
He shot when he need.
We know how to turn players in the great.
Don't shoot at all.
Between them two.
Right now, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing in Texas. What makes you think the
So we got the NFL on Thanksgiving. They got 3 games that they're putting on the slate for us. And I'm telling you right now, some of these games are going to be very interesting.
The Raiders is losing. The Raiders is losing.
They put the Star Raiders on TV.
The Raiders is losing on Thursday.
Them trash Raiders.
Play the Saints. So
the Giants ain't no damn better. They got embarrassed on Monday night.
The first game is going to be the Bears at 12:30 my time. And at 4:30 my time is going to be the Raiders and Cowboys.
Yeah, trash.
Cowboys going to take the dub.
Listen, Jay, take the dub. I don't give a shit about the Raiders.
No, we're going to take the dub. We're taking the dub on Thanksgiving.
Take it.
Trash night football.
You said trash? You really think it's trash night football? Because I think that Bills Saints game might.
The Giants will never play on Thanksgiving. They ain't worth it.
We don't want to, but we don't be represented by trash.
Y'all are a cancer.
We don't want to play on Thanksgiving. We don't be represented by trash.
Offensive coordinator, and now y'all got Freddie.
Yeah, hold on. Thank you for reminding me. Whoa. Yes,
stop it.
We don't want to be represented by trash.
Freddie Kitchens is dumpster juice. What?
He better than anybody out there in Vegas. You don't know who your coach is.
You see what he did with Cleveland? What did Freddie Kitchens do at Cleveland? Not a damn thing.
I know he did. He went 6-10. That's what he did. He went 6-10. That's what
that's true. He went 6-10.
Freddie Kitchens ain't changing nothing in New York, and New York ain't changing nothing in New York right now.
Can you tell me that for the NFL again?
I mean, I would if y'all want to stop arguing about the Raiders that y'all had the same conversation 18 times, bro.
Listen, until Freddie, listen,
stop talking about it.
We got 2 trash games tomorrow. When you have the Bears playing on Thursday, you know it's trash. You know when you have the Bears playing, that's trash. When you have the Raiders playing, that's double trash. And the when you have the Cowgirls
playing,
just
admit that you're a Packers fan and they lost this weekend. Just admit that you're a Packers fan and they lost this weekend, bro.
Can't stop.
I'm a Giants fan.
No. You're a Packers fan.
Oh, yeah. Because you know the Giants fan.
What proof you got that I'm a Packers fan?
He's admitted it on a past show before. He's admitted it in a show.
Show me, Nate. Don't tell me. Show me.
No, Nate. Bring it up.
Bring it up, Nate. Let's go.
Just like how we called him when he said Tim Duncan was better than Kobe. I think he started that MJ said. He said Tim Duncan was better. Then all of a sudden he just takes out disguise it as satire and a joke. Nate, bring it up.
Let's go right now. I want to see it.
Yeah, let's bring it.
I don't say that because the Spurs is my team. I would never think Tim Duncan is better than Kobe because they play 2 different positions.
I didn't say that, Tay. But Tay, you was there listening. Nate wanted to bring up certain parts of the show. He didn't hear me when I said 5 minutes ago that I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, because Tim Duncan, my guy, that's first my team. That's my guy.
Judge is being judged right now.
Show me the clip where I say the Packers are my team. Show me right now. Let's go. Where is
he? Relax. Price trying to ask you a question and you talking about some bullshit. Shut the hell up.
Well, I want Nate to bring that clip up.
No, what you did was this. Pride said everybody relax and everyone got quiet. And then you go, okay, by the way, fuck the Bears and fuck the Raiders. You started it again. Just stop it or I'm going to have Nate mute you forever.
Well, Mike, I'm glad you said
goodbye.
I'm glad you said that about the bull. You're absolutely right.
No one said
it's all good. It's all good. At the end of the day, I said what I said about my Raiders. If y'all ain't see my live, go check out my live. I said what I said about the Raiders. That's one thing I can say about my Raiders. I can be honest about my team and say it on the live stream. Unlike Freddie, he's going to keep
I love you. I'm not yelling at you today. I'm gonna yell at him. But please. Help me here.
Listen, I gotta finish work. I'm hiding out right now. I gotta finish work. I can't be on here too long.
Yeah. I just wanted to see if you was running from me, Spotlight. That's all I need to know.
Ain't nobody running from you, Fredward. Are you serious?
I thought you had to have your brother come on here and defend you. I thought you had to have your brother Tay come on here and defend you.
Fredward. But I can ask you a question.
You know, if I was home, I would have pulled up.
Bro, hold on, bro. What kind of weed do you smoke, Freddie? Because sometimes you be talking a lot of crap coming out your ass, pause. But what I'm saying to you is,
he smoked K2.
To really come to realize that both of your teams stink, and you hate on everybody else's team to make yourself feel good. I see what it is now. I see what it is.
My team suck. The Lakers got 17 championships. The New York Giants got 4.
Nobody cares about that.
Championships in 1970. Nobody cares about that no more. It's about now.
What have you done for me lately?
Again, Pride. What was your question, Pride?
Well,
y'all see my name, what my name is.
So here's a question I have for you, fine gentlemen, because you guys are gentlemen of integrity, intelligence. Don't start on with this, Fredward. Don't start on. I'm gonna start with you, Mike. Jason Garrett got fired. How he even got the job in the first place? No, Freddie, you going last. I try to give you the opportunity. I try to be nice. I want you to go first because you pretend that you're a Giant fan. I want to give you the opportunity. You want to go on and on and on and on and on and on and on talking about all this nonsense. So guess what, Freddie? Now you have to learn how to be patient. I apologize about that. Mike, I want to start with you. Now that he's out, I almost at Frank Vogel. That's how messed up Freddie got me right now. Now that Jason Garrett is gone, has the league finally figured this dude out? Because he was supposed to be a great head coach, was dog shit. Yep. The only thing he didn't do was play calling, that more clapping than play calling. Then they said offense was his thing. So then he becomes the offensive coordinator to a team that, granted, were they going to be the best? No. But offensively, they should not be horrible. They have something there.
Right.
So at this point, did Jason Garrett get figured out? Like, do you think someone else will give him any type of job, period?
Jason Garrett got figured out a long time ago. Jason Garrett, I feel like the reason he got figured out is because he never changed up his offense. It was always the same formula. It was always the same game plan. There was no difference. And one thing I noticed with Bill Belichick and the one thing I noticed with many other individuals in the league is even though they usually have the same identity, they can shoot it in a different way to where you can't really game plan for it. It's always something new. It's always something you're not really surprising yourself
on. It's predictable.
It's very predictable. And that's the problem. Jason, it's more of Jason didn't do anything to keep himself moving rather than them figuring him out. They figured him out because it's the same picture being painted every single week. If I show Jay a picture of a circle 9 weeks in a row, that 10th week, before I even show him the picture, I bet he could tell you it was a circle. That's Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett isn't that guy. Jason Garrett isn't going to be that guy. And hopefully he is not the only coach that will be fired this upcoming week. We will get into that in a little bit with the Bears and that whole situation. But I think it's the same thing with Matt Nagy. I think it's the same thing with, especially we're starting to see it with Matt LaFleur. A lot of people had a lot of feelings about Matt LaFleur. I truly do think a lot of it is let Aaron be Aaron. And then at the end of the day, though, when Aaron's not Aaron, you really have no play calling ability and you really have no game plan set up to really have success. You really do just count on guys being athletic, and you can't really do that. There has to be some kind of game plan. There has to be some kind of skill infiltrated in that offense. And that's why I think, Jason bit the bullet. That clapping shit, I don't get it. I'm a very hard person to hype up in a game. Like, I think Coach Dante can probably, attribute to it. There's some kids out there, like when I played safety, if I cracked a kid and laid him out, like this kid's concussed, I'm hyped. Now, if I have some guy looking at me just going, I'm going to be like, bro, get the fuck out of my face. I don't know what.
If anything, that takes the hype away from me.
It makes me feel weird. Like you're making me weird. Like that's weird. I don't even know how to describe it as anything else. I hate coaches like that. Now, a coach like Coach Dante actually have a conversation with you. And he might say some fly shit. He might give you a little bit of insight about the game that you didn't really know about. So that's perfectly fine. That's cool. Everything's straight. But the clapping stuff, there was really nothing Jason Garrett could go into New York and teach anybody, which is hard when you have such a young guy like Daniel Jones, who is like a sponge right now. Daniel Jones is trying to learn everything he can. But to me, there's nothing he can really learn from Jason Garrett right now except everything not to do. So that's really hard. And it's going to be even harder for Daniel Jones to continue to progress because I feel bad for him. That's 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. To Freddie's point, I know Freddie does say he's a Giants fan. I will say it's hard to judge Daniel Jones the same way it was hard to judge Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler had 7 offensive coordinators in the span of 8 years. That's fucking insane. So you look at it like that and you say it's really hard to get used to a system when the system's always getting changed up. So they have to find someone who they're riding with and they're willing to stick with for the long haul, or it's going to be a very, very long rebuild because it all starts with the game plan. And I don't care who you have out there.
Yeah. I'm going to go with 2.
And we just lost everybody in like a span of like 3 seconds. I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, I didn't hear. Oh, there he is. All right, he's back. But Coach, let me start with you. Do you think, are you with Mike? Do you think the league has figured has figured out Jason Garrett at all?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Mike. I mean, he's predictable. He's very predictable on the offensive side of the ball. His play calling is just not there. And again, they never addressed the offensive line as well. They never addressed that in the offseason. So again, Jason Garrett is a huge problem, but also it goes up and down the organization because you never really address the offensive line. Saquon Barkley is not on the field. He's never on the field. I thought Devontae Booker was playing well, but I don't know if you're the Giants, would you pay Saquon Barkley? I don't know that because he's not available. Then the receivers, they're very young. Kenny Galladay, he can't even get any touches because the offensive line is always on Daniel Jones behind every time. So really, you don't get a fair shake of Daniel Jones like that because he's always getting pressured. He's always getting pressured, and the offensive coordinator, and then the play call is just too predictable. So it goes within the organization and everything like that. So I can't blame I can blame it on Jason Garrett. He has a huge blame, but also the offensive line has not been addressed as well. And I would like to see what a consistent offensive coordinator. I would like to see how Daniel Jones pans out after the firing of Jason Garrett. That way we'll be able to tell if he's going to be the guy or not.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing about this. This was a joke. Me, Jake, and Greg were here yesterday when it happened, and we were talking about it, and the chat literally took over. And we were basically making jokes. And one of the jokes we said was that Jason Garrett needs to team up with Matt Nagy and go destroy the franchise. That was having. Yeah, but Freddie, now I'm gonna go with you because you've been patient. I know you have a lot to say.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Last night we was on the show on the Spotlight Sports Network. We was talking about this. Like I was saying earlier, I was watching First Take yesterday. The only way I can see the Giants being successful, they're going to have to put some players that can stay healthy on that field. That offensive, and it starts with the offensive line. Like that offensive line they make Daniel Jones look like he's a high school quarterback because they don't block for him. I believe if he had block, he would be a little bit better. I feel like they should have never got rid of OBJ. You know what I'm saying? Odell Beckham Jr. I feel like they should have never got rid of him and put players around him so he would have stars to throw to when it's like 2 minutes in a game. He really don't have no wide receivers on the field to really throw to. So I can't really say Daniel Jones really sucks, but I say Jason Garrett. I feel like he needed to go because he was okay in Dallas, okay in okay in New York, but I don't think he's that type of coach where people really follow him like that because he gets these long contracts, but he doesn't produce the way he should. So I just look at it like that because I feel like they could do more, and the people they're trying to pick up and the people they're picking up don't be really successful like that. So I'm like, okay, I don't hate the Giants. I got a lot of good friends that's Giants fans, and they saying the same thing I'm saying. They need some type of structure because for some odd reason the Giants don't know if they're coming or going. And I actually want to see the Giants. I actually like the Giants. I actually do, but they're not my team. But I just want to they got some talented players. It's just not showing because it's either they're not being disciplined or it's just something going on with that organization. There's something that's just not sitting right.
Can I go?
Go ahead, Freddie.
Today, happy day. Oh, happy day. I was so happy to see this. I was so happy that it starts a new era in New York Giants football history.
Not really. No, Freddie. It really doesn't.
I started yesterday because we had to knock off one bad apple. And the next bad apple need to be fired right now. Then who is that? That's Dave Gettleman. He needs out of New York. He needs to be fired. Because what did he say when he coming in? Oh, I'm gonna come help rebuild this offensive line. And he has yet to do that. So the Mara family need to let him go. We need to get a guy who can run the GM position. Need the guy that knows what they're doing and know how to get free agents in there to fix this offensive line, and then we can see the real Daniel Jones. Then we can see the real Saquon Barkley. And then New York can stand up and take their division back from them sorry Cowgirls. We can take over that division because we let them Cowgirls be there too long to let them Cowgirl fans start smelling themselves and make them feel like they doing something. That's because my Giants have not been ran the right way under Dave Gettleman, under Jason Garrett, the Clapper. If Freddie Kitchens, he can go. I like Joe Judge, but he's on the hot seat right now. He is going to determine who he brings in as that OC, though. It all depends on how they build this team around Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. But, hey, that's a good step to letting Jason Garrett go, and hopefully we make more better steps.
Pride, can you pull up Damien's comment really quick? Because Freddie just alluded to it.
There's a few.
Right there. If you knew anything about what you were talking about, you would know he got play calling taken away from him 3 times. What the fuck are you talking about, Damien?
No, seriously. So much. He didn't call offenses.
But and Jason Garrett. Hey, wait, we're playing. When Jason Garrett was in Dallas, he got to play calling calls taken away from him and given to Kellen Moore. So both of them were horrible. And they put
so my point about Matt.
And Freddie Kitchens is not going to be no better.
No, he's not.
Probably not. But this is.
I think with Freddie though, you might see Barkley get more touches. You really might.
This is what I expect to see out of Freddie Kitchens. I think Freddie Kitchens, he should understand we need to open up the playbook.
Right.
And that's what, because the thing is, look, if I was the Giants, I'm not going in this. I was never going in this year trying to win the division. I thought they would be able to, but if I'm the Giants, I'm not trying to win the division. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm trying to figure out what I got in Daniel Jones. And the only way I can do that is if I open up the playbook, let the kid ball out, and that lets me know whether or not we should extend him, if we should give him 1 more year, if we should draft a quarterback. Like that is what this year was supposed to be about. But
just letting Cowboy fans know this next year will be. We taking our crown back, that division.
Let me from the Cowboy fan perspective. I see about another 10 more years of New York Giant failure. I was fearing the Redskins or the Eagles long before I ever fear the New York freaking Giants.
And Freddie,
I see another 20 more years of y'all Cowboys being irrelevant.
But and Freddie,
and you are
Freddie holding on to them.
And you are.
I've won 2 championships in the last time you've been to one, Jay McLovin.
Hey, why don't you turn that jersey around and show me the Packer jersey? Because that's probably where you belong. I know you would have beat up somebody and took that New York hat from just so you can say you're from New York. But just go on ahead and take that New York jersey, flip it around, and put your Giants or Packer jersey on.
Look, it's nothing but New York. You see that? NY. That's what I believe.
Why are you a West Coast, East Coast conundrum?
Damn, bro, that hat barely hanging on.
It's not barely hanging on.
Mike, chill out, Mike. Like,
it's not barely hanging on. It's on there.
Turn it. It's hard to turn.
That's on the last strap.
Yep.
What is he saying? Come on, son.
You wear like
I'm gonna get you a flexi one.
Hey, Freddie, why don't you pick a coast? Any coast. Just pick a coast. Because right now you got 2. Pick a coast.
You see, it's on there on the 3rd one now, Mike.
I'm just gonna put it to y'all like this. At the end of the day, this is kind of how I feel about the whole Jason Garrett thing. He was dog shit. The only people who thought he was good were
watch yourself, Brian.
Idiotic. No, I'm just saying. No, Jason Garrett.
Everybody can't be Bill Belichick.
No. But the thing is, I don't expect everyone to be Bill Belichick. That's not. But when you
there is a coach out there that's just like it's just as good as him.
No, but if you consistently show me that you're garbage at what you do, like if you go and ask anybody in Dallas, did he call plays? Sometimes, and you would get a shrug. Like when Kellen Mond came in, all of a sudden he wasn't calling plays. Like let that sink in. There are times where you're not involved at all. What head coach is not involved at all? You tell me, as great as Eric is, you telling me that Andy Reid has no say at all in the offense? Is that what you're telling me? Are you telling me for as great as Josh McDaniels is, and he's not a good coach, but he as an offensive coordinator, he's great? You telling me even though Bill Belichick, who's a defensive-minded coach, you telling me Bill Belichick ain't checking him? Hey, yo, what do we do here? If the head coach is not even, if he's asking questions and they're ignoring the guy, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
And again, I was told that he's an offensive guy, and now you go to the Giants, where again they were not going to be the best. I understood that, but you had one job. Your one job wasn't to win games. Your one job was to keep it competitive. Your one job was to figure out, is Daniel Jones our guy? We need to put him in a position to see whether or not we can build our future around him. They didn't do it. He couldn't do it. Imagine this. The one time it doesn't matter if you lose, all you gotta do is actually coach. He still couldn't do it.
Yo, who's going hard back there?
Oh, that's my daughter. She's playing my girl's piano.
Hell yeah.
She just out here like punching out. I'm just like, you know what? Live your life, kid. I ain't gonna tell you what to do. Go be great. Go be great. But look, when it comes to the whole thing with Jason Garrett, man, look, he's dog shit. The only people who thought he was good were idiotic Cowboys fans. They were the only people who thought that he was actually good.
Even Cowboys fans gave up on him.
And yeah, some of them did.
Yeah.
It was just.
You knew it was predictable. He never made the adjustments. You knew it. Like you said, it's all the same stuff. They took the calling away from him, just like they did from Nagy. They took the calling away from him and gave it to Kellen Moore. It's the same situation.
Pride just yelled at her.
Jake, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. No, so yesterday, let me go to.
Oh, that's Jake. Jake's my guy.
That's Jake. Yesterday, me, Jake, and Greg were doing the show, right? And, we were talking about this.
Yeah.
And the chat took over, and they started saying Jason Garrett to blank. Like, that was the game. All of a sudden, we started playing. There was one of them who said Jason Garrett. Somebody said Jason Garrett to the Houston Texans and make him the starting quarterback. Somebody was like, somebody said Jason since these dudes got since what's his name? Luke Walton got fired, Jason Garrett to the Kings.
Hell yeah.
Yo, they were having fun, yo. It was hilarious. Yeah, David for city council. Look, look, Jason Garrett is horrible. And here's my fear. I don't think it matters that he's shit. I don't think it matters. In a league where Matt Nagy should have been fired like 2 years ago, at least, and he could still consistently keep his job.
Jason Garrett is going to get another job. He's going to get another job.
That's what I'm saying. That's my fear. My fear is he's going to get another job. That he's going to. Because nowadays it's easier just to pick up a guy like him instead of trying to do the dirty work and finding somebody.
Right.
Which to me is a joke, because Jason Garrett is not good. He's not even passable. He's horrible. Yeah. He's horrible. The few and look, I don't like. And someone say he's a nice guy, not a good coach. I don't know him personally.
Yeah, I don't know that dude.
And I don't care.
I don't care if he's a nice guy or not. What does that have to do with winning football games?
Yeah, like he's a horrible coach. I just want to throw that up there. Jake is killing me. Look, I'm not even trying to be mean to him. I'm really not. But at the same time, I do like being mean to Jason Garrett. He's not good at what he does. I don't understand the allure with just instead of just trying to do the work and finding somebody, like, teach their own. I'm gonna tell you this right now. The next team that gets him, they're just putting themselves in a hole that you don't know if they're gonna be able to go. I'm telling you right now, Mike, I fear with the questionable decision the Bears are making, they'll fire Nagy and bring in Jason Garrett, and that's not a joke. Like that is if I'm a Bears fan, that's a legitimate fear I have, because at best you're sidestepping. At best,
nah.
Hey, so you think you're taking a step back?
I don't think it's a step back at all. I don't think it's a step back. I was a Mitch Trubisky guy. Personally, I understood what Mitch was, and I understood that you're not going to win a championship because of Mitchell Trubisky, but you can win a championship with Mitchell Trubisky. The same way Jimmy Garoppolo was not the focal point of that 49ers team, but he can help you enough to help get you there. You know, you bring him around the weapons. I've said it for years. You didn't. That Philadelphia Eagles game, the double doink, it's famous. Everyone knows about it. It happened. But Cody Parkey was the MVP of the Bears offense that day, whether he double doinked or not. The Bears offense with an offensive guru and the best play caller and a quarterback whisperer only ran the ball not only a total of 10 times all together with 4 different guys, Jordan Howard, Tariq Cohen, Mitchell Trubisky, Mizell, everyone else. He not only did that 10 times in total, but Cody Parkey outscored the Chicago Bears in that game. And that was when and Matt Nagy just uses him as an scapegoat. Like, first of all, he made the first kick. I don't give a shit what anybody says. He made the first one. Icing a kicker is the weirdest thing to me, and I'll never understand why that's a thing in today's era. But it is what it is. But at the end of the day, Cody Parkey showed more to me in that game than Matt Nagy has shown to me in 4 years. And to me, Matt Nagy's been that guy who's just so egotistical and such an idiot. At least Jason's out there supporting you and clapping for you and trying to do all this shit to show you that he cares. Matt Nagy will go out there and make sure you're sacked 9 times in a span of 5 minutes, and he doesn't give a shit what happens to you. Like, it's just that bad. Like, there's 2 minutes left in the game. You are down 30-something points to the Browns, and your franchise quarterback is still in the game. Makes no fucking sense to me. You give up on David Montgomery. You blame the defense. You do all this shit. If the rumors are true coming out of Chicago, regardless of the outcome of this game, which I believe that the Detroit Lions legitimately have a good chance at winning this game with Justin Fields out, Khalil Mack, Allen Robinson, Eddie Jackson, Akeem Hicks, all out. I think if the Lions not only get their first win this Thursday, regardless of that they get it, they're saying Matt Nagy's done. I've said it for years. He's been the problem. He has no play calling ability. At least with Jason Garrett, you know he believes in his guys. Matt Nagy is so egotistical. He's willing to throw Mitch, Foles, Andy, Justin, the defense, the running backs. He's willing to throw everyone under the bus, and he always says the whys. And I say the why the fucks. That's what I call it. Because Nagy's on there. Let me tell you the whys. No, why the fuck are you still here? That's my only why I'm wondering right now. So I don't care how it's done. My point in going into all of this is for Ryan Pace, you're on the hot seat too. You brought in Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy said how much he loved Mitch. He lied to your face, and you know he lied to your face. So you have to bring in someone better than Jason Garrett. You have to bring in a Brian DeBall, Eric Bieniemy. You have to bring in someone everyone believes in. And that's honestly what it is, Jake. And Matt, to me, I've said it all the time. I'm very good at reading people. Like, I feel like even that was my favorite thing about being a player. I understand if the guy across from me is either – Ted Phillips is never leaving, but it is what it is. But whatever. But it's definitely something that you have to look at it from that perspective and say you can read the room, and all the players are finally starting to read it. And the only reason in 101 years of this team's franchise that we're firing a guy mid-season opposed to other years with Mark Trestman, Lovie Smith, John Fox, so on and so forth is because look at the guys in this locker room. The guys before, you didn't give a shit if they were upset. Jay Cutler in his last years, no one cared how he felt. Pernell McPhee, no one cared. You're upsetting Allen Robinson, Justin Fields, Khalil Mack. You're upsetting some guys that you really want to stay on this team. If somehow we lose to the Lions and this man still – I feel you ain't sleeping. But if we lose and you still have a job, Allen Robinson's gone if he's not already. Khalil Mack.
I believe Allen Robinson gone after this year anyway. So
I think he's dipping. The only way he'll stay – look. I don't think the Bears are going to fire Matt Nagy after this game, regardless. I don't think so. But I will say something. I do believe that at the end of the year, he's going to be gone. If they get rid of him at the end of the year, I think you have a chance at keeping Allen Robinson. But that's really And again, I say a chance because I don't know if Allen Robinson even wants to stay there anymore. We really don't know. That's kind of right now, kind of up in the air right now.
I doubt it. I would rather have Chris Godwin, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel you. I get it. But here's my whole thing when it comes to it. When it comes to this thing, they're not. And it sucks to say this, but at the end of the day, it might. If they keep Matt Nagy, that whole organization just needs to go away.
Fire. Yeah.
Like, no, I don't mean fire. I'm talking about
like burn it all down
to the ground.
Yeah.
And we need to remove everyone in terms of the office, from coaching up. Everyone, we need to blackball y'all for like 20 years.
Yeah.
By the time you guys are eligible to come back, I want you guys to be citizens. I want you guys to be like older than Bill Belichick is right now. Like to the point where like, yeah, you can come back, but you don't want to come back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because it just won't really make any sense. And again, you're right. They look like, just so you know, I'm searching for the video right now about Freddie.
But not Pride, to your point, and I've said this, I don't know how many times on my podcast, Mike on the Mic, I've said it 1,000 times. Pride's heard me say it. For me, and I grew up on it. I grew up, guy behind me, Brian Urlacher, Peanut Tillman, Lance Briggs. You already know the guys of old, Dan Hampton, Dick Butkus. The list goes on and on of amazing defenses. The monsters of the Midway needs to change, in my opinion. If it's me this offseason, what my ideal offseason is, you trade Khalil Mack for any picks you can get. You can still get a first-round pick or two. That's perfectly fine. You trade the defense. You keep Roquan Smith. You keep Jalen Johnson. I like those two cornerstones. Rookie deals. Perfectly fine. I'm fine with that. But we need to change this narrative of, okay, the defense is always going to save us, because throughout the last 30 years, we've been to one Super Bowl. And again, Rex Grossman was our starting quarterback, so that's why we lost that Super Bowl. We need to change the narrative of, you can have a top 5 defense. That's perfectly fine. Make it homegrown. Don't be paying these guys over $100 million. Build this offensive line. Build up wide receivers for Justin Fields. Give him the tools that you've never given a single other quarterback. Do exactly what the Bulls are doing right now for Zach LaVine. In a span of one season, the Bulls did more for Zach LaVine than they ever did for Derrick Rose. That's just point blank, period. You need to do that same thing and say the defense will be our second unit. This offense needs to be the first. You need to hire the right guys, hire the right committee, and let Justin Fields be Justin Fields. This offensive line is close. They have 2 hogs that are both rookies on the left and right side. Whitehair, James Daniels. You're a couple pieces away and a little bit of depth from being a solid O-line. You have Montgomery. You have Darnell Mooney just balled out over 120 yards. He did his thing. You have a good core. You have a good nucleus. I feel like you get all the draft picks you can. You have all the money in the world in free agency. Bring in a Chris Godwin. Bring in a couple other people. I don't really know how I feel about Cole Kmet as a tight end, so maybe bring in a little bit of tight end depth. I'm just saying, I think it's time to change that narrative, and I know a lot of Bears fans hate it, but we need to change the narrative of this Bears defense is going to keep us in these games, because at the end of the day, they'll win us games, but they're not going to win us Super Bowls for that simple fact that this offense is always the number 2, the second fiddle. We need Batman to be Justin Fields, not Khalil Mack. We need Batman to be that guy that says, fuck you, you put up 30, I'm putting up 33. Like, that's just how it's going to go. And that's really what I think the Bears need to do. And if they don't do that by this offseason, I'm not saying everybody has to get moved, everybody has to get traded, but if I don't see some sort of step in the right direction of making it a top 10 offense, which they haven't been in, I don't know, ever. So I look at it like that, and if I see no changes, Ryan Pace is on the hot seat too, because I don't care if you got Justin Fields. Number one, you shouldn't have been able to get Justin Fields when you did. That's because Freddie's Giants are stupid, and they decided they trusted him. That's just being real. You took, I don't even know. Freddie couldn't. I remember we did it on the show, Pride. Freddie couldn't tell you who the Giants took in the first round this year. He couldn't. And that's exactly my problem. When Justin Fields and Mac Jones were there, you looked at it and said, I'll take some bum at offensive line, or I'll take some horrible defender. And that's the problem. And I completely agree with Jake. You know, the McCaskies know nothing about football, and that's perfectly fine. And Pride, I'm not going to go out here and continue to rant, but my final point is, when you look at, and I think Pride loves this one because we talked about it earlier, Tom Ricketts and the Chicago Cubs. horrible organization
Yep.
throughout the last 108 years, and a new business team, a new ownership that knows everything about business. They knew nothing about baseball.
Nothing.
They basically built the White Sox team up with Dylan giving them. Yep, they basically built the White.
Bring in Theo Epstein because Theo Epstein is the king of baseball.
You know,
and exactly that's why the McCaskies need to sit down and understand we know nothing about football. We need to bring in somebody who knows. A Lewis Reddick, I'll fucking take Peyton Manning if you want to take in Peyton Manning. I'll take it. Peyton Manning, Lewis Reddick, whoever you want to take, it's perfectly fine. But they need to understand this is not George Halas. This is George McCaskey, and he is a fucking idiot, and he doesn't know what he's doing. Ted Phillips is a great businessman, but he's a fucking idiot.
I wouldn't mind if Peyton Manning can be an offensive coordinator or something in this league. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't actually mind
be mad at it. I think he wants to be more on the business side of things, but I definitely wouldn't be mad at it either.
Yeah, he's super intelligent. I think he would do a good job as an offensive coordinator, starting as a quarterback coach and working way up to offensive coordinator.
Yeah, quarterback coach. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Peyton Manning will probably end up looking into a gig like that soon. It's going to be interesting whether or not he does it. But when it comes to the Bears, what I would do is every single year I'm firing somebody.
Yeah.
That's really it. Every year I'm firing somebody until I see improvement. Now, I'm not saying we got to go from last in division to a Super Bowl in a year. But if we're not making the proper decision and we're not trending in the right direction, someone's going to have to pay.
Right. But Pride, to your point, we'll always be third. We'll never be last.
No, of course.
We'll always be. The Lions pride themselves on that shit. So
yes.
At least Detroit's where the careers go to die.
Mm-hmm. At least make it competitive.
Right.
Don't make it to the point where it's a game, like a game
right.
of that.
And think about it from my perspective. This is the moment. You have Justin Fields. Aaron Rodgers is out the door, on his way out the door. Devontae Adams might be following him. Kirk Cousins and Zimmer aren't going anywhere. The Detroit Lions are the Detroit Lions. So this is the time now. The Bears can have a 2-year window to build something while everyone else is falling apart. Now, Justin Jefferson is there. Dalvin Cook is there. Adam Thielen's there. So you have to do it fast because I promise you, this was what I was afraid of. I was afraid of the Vikings moving up to get Justin Fields because if they would have got Justin Fields, that is something special. And I think they honestly would have went over the hump and won the division. So they are a quarterback away from being a great football team and a great OC. I'm thinking of it like that. You need to get this offense underhand because we could run the North very soon, but you have to do these steps. And I know it hurts to just completely change the narrative on everything you've done throughout your history. But then you have to ask yourself why you only have one Super Bowl championship. That's just the point blank period. The only reason you have one is because you've been doing the same shit. Just like Jason Garrett, you've been figured out. We don't need to worry about your offense, and we just need to do just enough to get by your defense. And we're at a point right now where this defense isn't the same. And that's honestly, that's just where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, y'all, if y'all can make some off-season moves and fix that offensive line, I mean, I think Green Bay window is closing probably this year. I don't think Aaron Rodgers will remain there. He got a contract where he can leave if he wants to this year. And Devontae Adams is going to be behind him very, very soon. So I think that window is going to pretty much close after this year. So the Bears have a chance. The only team that's going to really be Achilles' heels is Minnesota because you still got Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook is one of the best running backs in the game. So that window for Green Bay is getting ready to close fast. And I think it's going to basically close this year. So if the Bears can bring the right management and make the right moves that they need to make, that window can be opening up since Green Bay is going to be eliminated.
Yeah.
And
look how fast they fell though, man. We used to have Jay Cutler, we used to have Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, all these other guys. Right now, going in the next year, it's Justin Fields, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, and really Keelan Mond because no one knows what's going on with Kirk Cousins and if he's going to return next year. So really, the Bears look in the best position to have the best quarterback in the North. build around that. But instead, they'll probably sign 3 new defensive guys, and I'm going to look at them and I'm going to say, this kid's going to get sacked 5 times a game again. So that's
I do like the run game of Dave Montgomery, though. I like Montgomery.
Yeah, I love me some Dave Montgomery.
Yeah, he's a dog. Leo Herbert's a dog, too.
I love me some Montgomery, though. I love
So, we have the 3 games that we had. I was Bears, Lions, Raiders, Cowboys, Bills, Saints. Real quick before we wrap it up, who you guys have winning each game? We'll start with Bears and Lions.
Lions.
Coach.
I'm so serious.
Oh my God, my boy Gooley said that on the network. He think the Lions gonna win. I'm gonna take the Bears, man. I'm gonna take the Bears. The Lions can win that game, but I wouldn't be surprised. And if they do lose to the Lions, Matt Nagy needs to be fired on the fucking field. Just to be honest with you, he needs to be fired on the motherfucking field. If they lose against the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff, he needs to be fired on the field.
Yeah, I agree. I got the Bears winning that as well. If they don't, like you said, Nagy needs to be gone right then and there. I think they need to take him out to center field and just get the Patriots. Just center field and just be done with it, man.
FaceTime Mitchell Trubisky while you do it. Just be like, this is for you.
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I don't trust offensive Andy Dalton. I mean, look, Andy Dalton had that one solid game, but we also did see them how they looked before they gave the starting nod to Justin Fields. I got Lions. And now the reason I have the Lions, Coach, I think you were there, and I think Mike, you might have been there.
Yeah, I was there.
I made a vow to myself and to the city of Detroit and to the entire National Football League. I'm voting for the Lions to win every single game until they get the win.
As you should. I am too.
In a perfect world, I hope they beat the Chargers. The reason being, so you know how we make the comparisons, who was worse, this team or the Cleveland Browns?
Right.
Did you know the Cleveland Browns had a tie? Do you know who they tied against?
Was it the Chargers?
Nope. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
The same Steelers that tied the Lions. Yo, yesterday when I found out, bro, I went mental. I was like, yo, this legitimately is the new Cleveland Browns. And then when the 1 year they had that one win, they went 1-15, they beat the Chargers. So I'm hoping they could do that. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm going with the Lions. I'm going with the Lions for the right. Even the game when they play the Cardinals, I still got them. I really do. Jared Goff seems like he's gonna be playing, which he's solid. He ain't the best, but he's. I don't poo on
the defense. The Bears' defense is all out. So
that's what I'm saying.
I'll let them have it. But so Roquan and Robert Quinn.
Yeah. So they have an opportunity, but for that, I'm gonna have to go Lions. Game number 2, Raiders, Cowboys. Mike, I'm gonna start with you. Who you have?
Pretty sure CD's gonna be out this game. I think Cooper's gonna be out too. I'm gonna say Raiders just because I like Derek. I like Derek Carr a lot. He's a cool guy. He's a great guy. That's really it. I mean, Jay, I love you, but Michael Gallup's wide receiver number 1. I don't know. With Mike McCarthy, that's asking for problems. You got to still count in Darren Waller. I almost said Henry Ruggs, but then things happen. We'll see what he's eating for Thanksgiving, but it is probably like a pudding cup. But it's definitely going to be an interesting game. I think that's honestly going to be the game of the night. I think it's going to be a lot of a low-scoring game than we think it is. I think the Bills game is actually going to be the one that's more of a high-scoring game. But I'm going to say the Raiders, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Cowboys win this game.
That's a very political answer you give there, Mr. Nagy. You cover yourself on one end of the stick, but then you make that statement and you cover yourself on the other end of the stick. So either way, you're looking pretty good. I get it. You don't want to say definitively one way or the other. I think the Raiders are going to get it, but then again, I wouldn't be surprised That's a bullshit answer, but that's okay.
It's not though.
That's okay. It's like Chicago. It's like Freddie. It's like Freddie. Look at Freddie 2.0. I get it, man.
Listen. Never that, bro. Hey, no, that's pride.
I get it, man. Listen. You gotta say one way or the other. You can't give an answer of, well, I think this, but I think that. No. Get your points. Stick by your points and stick with it.
That's my point.
He said he's got the point he's making. He's got the Raiders, but it's going to be close.
That's what I said. You don't have
Cowboys are going to win the game. We're going to right the ship. We're going to win the game. Point blank, man. The Raiders, they're going down. They done lost. They don't have it, man. The Raiders don't have it. They're a 500 team at best. Everybody knows, man. Look, man. Yeah, we had a couple of two bag in. Cowboys gonna write this shit, man. We're gonna be just fine. Y'all gonna see Cowboys gonna take it, and everybody gonna be okay, whatever. And Freddie gonna eat some cow because Freddie gonna hate seeing the Cowboys win.
Pride, you stop yelling at her.
No, I have to yell at her because she out here misbehaving. Look, at the end of the day, I'm taking the Raiders. I think this right here is gonna be their last gasp if they want to do anything with this season. I believe Derek Carr will be able to get everybody up. But if they lose this game, they're surely almost virtually eliminated.
Yeah, it's over.
Sure, they could win out, but I think this is going to be they need to start winning. And it doesn't matter who they play. It could have been Dallas. It could have been Kansas. It could have been the Rams. It could have been the Cardinals. It could have been the Jags or the Texans, the Lions. Doesn't matter. They need to start something now. And I think they can do it. I do think so. But again, if they end up losing this game, they should probably start considering to wrap up the season because now we're already asking a lot from them already. Losing this game, what we're asking from them with all the turmoil they've been going through, it'll be almost impossible to do. If they win this game, it does keep their hopes alive. And hey, for all we know, that one win is really all they need. But as of right now, I'm gonna go Raiders. Coach, who you got?
I got Cowboys. I can't trust in the Raiders right now. They got too much stuff going on. Their defense can't stop anybody. The Cowboys, they can establish that running game and wear that defensive line out. I think that will help them out. I know half of their receivers are out right now. But the problem is the Raiders receivers ain't too much better. You take Darren Waller out the game, who can you trust to get wide open for the Raiders if you take Darren Waller up out of the game? So again, I know they got Hunter Withrow, but when you go play the Raiders, you don't game plan from Hunter Withrow. You game plan besides Darren Waller. Yeah, Jackson there, but again, he doesn't get enough opportunities. He doesn't.
Man, Jackson has been relevant. How long? Yeah,
their offensive line can't block anybody. They're not good on the offensive line there, so it's just a mess right now for the Raiders. The fan base is fighting each other and all of that, going back and forth. When you have Damian Lillard come out on Twitter and say, "I'm done watching Oakland," that's how you know it's bad in Oakland right now. That's how you actually know it's bad in Las Vegas. So I got the Cowboys. I know they are depleted, but right now, and I don't like the Cowboys. I hope they lose every game from here on out, but I got to be real. I like them. I like them against the Raiders. They look way better than the Raiders right now. So I got the Cowboys.
All right. So the last one, Bills and Saints. Mike, talk to me. Who you got?
Joshy, taking Joshy all the way. Josh Allen all the way. Alvin Kamara, even though he may or may not be playing, I don't think he's going to be as effective as everyone wants him to be. It's just been a rough season for him. And overall, the Rocket. It's same thing with that Zion jersey. Just inconsistent, not healthy, not there. Trevor Siemian. I'm looking at Trevor Siemian. Not even with Michael Thomas. Like I'm just looking at Trevor Siemian straight up, trying to go out there and ball out. Hell no, I'll take Josh fucking Allen any day of the week. Stephon Diggs. Diggs versus Diggs was what I really wanted. I wanted it to be Bills versus Cowboys. I thought that would be a great matchup. I think it would have been a really fun game. I think Jay would have been freaking out. Jay would have been like, he's a lockdown corner. And then everyone else would have been freaking out. I think it would have been a lot of fun. But, you got to play the guys you have on your schedule. So even though I do believe in Trevor Siemian, I also do think, he's like a Taylor Heineke type of guy. Like he's going to win you a couple of games, but I trust Brian DeBall as a play caller for the Buffalo Bills. I trust Sean McDermott to do the right thing, to not call the right plays, but to just get his guys together. I think it's going to be a great game. I like Moss. I don't like Singletary, but I like Moss a lot. So, and Knox is back. Knox is back. Coach Dante and I have been talking about that one. Knox broke his hand on my fantasy team. My backup is Gronk. I'm pissed. Like, I have not had a tight end since week fucking 2. It's been rough out here, bro. But Coach Dante, everyone else left. Where are you at right now with this Buffalo Bills game?
I agree with you. I got the Buffalo Bills. I don't like the Saints quarterback situation. Michael Thomas, I think he's done in New Orleans. I honestly think it's over with him. He's moving on next year. He elected to have surgery during the off season. He already knew what he was trying to do. So Jameis Winston may be out a little more long term next year. So you don't know that quarterback situation.
Probably like half the year.
Yeah, half of the year, because he kind of messed up himself late again in this year, in the middle of this year. They re-signed Taysom Hill, but do you actually want to put him at quarterback? I don't actually know that.
He makes a lot of money too, bro.
Yeah, he makes a lot
of money to just do nothing.
So they're paying him halfway as to be a quarterback and be a player. Would they use him in different formations? So I don't know about that situation. The receivers, though, I don't like the receiving core either. Alvin Kamara can't stay on the field. Right. The defense is very good, but how long can this defense be able to win you football games if your offense not going to be able to put the ball in the end zone? Like you said, I trust Josh Allen. I trust Moss. I trust Knox and Stephon Diggs, and I trust Cole Beasley as well. So I got the Buffalo Bills winning this football games, coming back after the debacle against the Indianapolis Colts. So I got Buffalo in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do got the Bills. Basically, for all the points you guys said, I trust.
You didn't hear my points.
I did.
I'm playing.
I mean, look, yeah, it is a funny money deal with Taysom Hill. It's really not. Like, people see and go, "Oh my God, he got overpaid," and it's like, no, he didn't. Like, if you really look at it, it's actually doing the Saints plenty of favors.
Right.
But again,
that's what kept you from getting Odell, though. Just think about it. Taysom Hill is the reason you couldn't afford Odell Beckham Jr. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'd rather keep Taysom Hill. Only because in that system, he's more versatile. You know what I mean? Like, he's a little more versatile. So in that, I'm not talking about top to bottom. He's the better player.
Right.
But he's more versatile. You know, you can line him up, inside and outside at the receiver position. But you also
a little Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, so I do like him there. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. And look, I've been screaming this for the longest.
Yeah.
The Bills need to learn how to run the ball.
Right.
Like, we bashed the Ravens for not wanting to throw the ball consistently enough, and they want to be run first. Right. The Bills are the exact opposite. They love to throw the ball, but then when there's times you need to run it, they don't do it. And I like Devin Singletary. I like Zach Moss. But the problem with both of those guys, they're rhythm backs. You can't just give them a couple chances here and there, and then all of a sudden expect them to, they're getting 7 to 8 touches, and you're expecting them to get 100+ yards. The likelihood of that happening is not high. Like, it's very rare that that's going to happen. Joe said no, he's still overpaid. Not wasting my time with that. Like I said, once you break down the contract, you understand he's really not that overpaid. Because if I'm not mistaken, there's some voidable years on that contract as well. So you know what I mean? Like, he could easily they can move on.
Right.
But I trust. The only thing that the Saints have maybe the better head coach. Maybe.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, they have the better. I would give them the better head coach and the better defense. As far as that, but other than that, it's not too much.
The defense is relatively close.
Yeah, the defense is very good. I think the defense is very good. I think they're better than the Saints defense. But again, I just like Mr. Nagy up there at the top said, hey, we trust Josh Allen. We just trust Josh Allen more. I just believe they have the better offensive players.
Yeah, you definitely do. And this is in terms of defense. The Bills are number 1 in defense. and the Saints are ranked 9th. So this is a battle of really two top 10 defenses. But at the end of the day, who's got the better offense? And
the Bills. Yep.
in terms of that, it goes to the Bills. Now. Nagy, hashtag fire Nagy. I will say this when it comes to the Bills, and this is the final question I'm gonna pose to the both of you. I'm gonna start with you, Coach. Do you think that we've been overhyping the Buffalo Bills a little bit?
The way it looks, we have, but then again, they're still a good football team. I mean, everybody is gonna figure out something's gonna figure you out, but then again, I still think they're gonna be part of the playoff picture. I still think they're a good football team. The Colts, I mean, they were just a better team on that day, and the Colts got a great offensive line. And right now, Jonathan Taylor is the best running back in football right now. With no Derrick Henry, he's the best running back in football. He should be in the MVP discussion.
Yeah, and dare I say, even if Derrick Henry was in here, in the league, I think Jonathan Taylor still makes a very legit
very legit argument.
It's kind of funny because I was saying this when the coach picked him up. I was like, Jonathan Taylor needs to be the bell cow. Like, he needs the one getting most of the time. Then you have people who only watch highlights, don't know what to talk about. So no,
I watched all those Wisconsin games, bro.
This man
murdered people.
Yes, John was that good in Wisconsin. Yes. He was that good.
He was a dog. He made me a Badgers fan for a season. I'm not even.
He was great. Yes, he was great. And some people who have no idea what they're talking about. Oh, Jonathan Taylor's not that good. I'm like, look here. If you don't think Jonathan Taylor is good, do me a favor. Go get some bleach, pour it in your eyes, because you don't deserve the blessing of vision. You don't deserve it. The gift of sight has been wasted upon you, because this kid is great. This kid is phenomenal, and there's no. I like him. Ain't no way. Every single time. Like, I'm about to unplug that thing. Miami, can you please turn it off?
Hey, this man got 13 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns already. This man on the pace for goddamn.
What, 5 3 days ago?
Yeah, and you included that. You included that with passing touchdowns, catching touchdowns as well. Come on, man.
And again, that's really what it comes. Like, this kid is legit. This kid is very special. But it's gonna be interesting. But Mike, let me pose that same question to you. Do you think we've been overrating the Buffalo Bills a little bit?
I think you overrate them. No, Pride, leave her alone. But no. But Pride, I look at it like this. I feel the same way I do about Matthew Stafford with Josh Allen. I feel the same way I feel about Lamar Jackson and so many others. They are not bad players. Hello.
She's not crying. She's fine. She's smiling. Matter of fact, do me a favor. Go get a shirt.
Get a shirt. Pride. Clothe your child.
She always takes them off.
Same, but
it's like I'm gonna have to duct tape them on her.
But now, in all seriousness, though, I look at it as you're not a bad quarterback. No one's figured you out. The game plan is just the passing perspective of it. They know there is no run game. They know that with the Rams. They know Sony Michel and Henderson are only gonna combine like 50 yards. You understand that J.K. Dobbins is out and Gus Edwards is out and Freeman and Bell are only going to be able to do so much. Murray, not even Bell anymore. Lamar's going to have to be the focal point of that offense for the run game and the pass game. You think of it the same way as I do with Josh Allen. I love Moss. I think Moss needs to be fed. I think this kid was a great pick in the second round. Singletary, I'm not high on. He hasn't lived up to that hype. He also screwed me over a whole year in fantasy, so I'm over Singletary. I'm over him. But I think they need to start feeding Moss more legitimately. I think they need to get him prepared for year 2. And I'm really excited to see what he has to offer going into year 2. But again, I don't think they figured either of these teams out. I just think they are one-dimensional as of right now. And the second they become two-dimensional, they are going to be a legitimate threat, especially with this Bills defense. With Brian DeBall calling plays, screws on Brian DeBall. Anybody is the future head coach of the Chicago Bears. I want it to be Brian DeBall. There's no question about it. I don't want Eric Bieniemy. I'm done with the Andy Reid tree. It has nothing to do with anything else. But I've already been there with Nagy. I'm over it. I don't want it ever again. I don't want anything that comes out of Kansas City ever fucking again in my life, ever. So I want Brian DeBall really bad. Sean McDermott, very good. Sean Payton, though, like Coach said, amazing. Sean McVay is my favorite coach just because I feel like he's really fun. Hello, beautiful.
Say hi.
But yeah, Peyton's a genius. But that's just where I leave it.
Hi. They already said hi.
Yeah, man. Sean Payton is an awesome head coach, man. And Sean McVay is trending right up there as well as an offensive guru and an offensive genius. So again, that's the only reason I never really count the Saints out because of Sean Payton. I never could count the Saints out because of Sean Payton. I never can count the Steelers out because of Mike Tomlin, how good these guys had these guys prepared, their teams prepared. So again, man, I think the Bills, everybody's kind of figured them out because they always pass first heavy. They always Josh Allen is always throwing the ball. So you're predictable. You're predictable almost going into every game. And like I say again, I like Sean McDermott, but Sean Payton, like Mike said, man, the man is great, man. The man is a great coach.
Hurry up and drop the breaking news, Nathan. God damn it. Look, and to the point is, I do think that they did get figured out a little bit, but there's an easy fix to it. Like you said, Mike, I don't care if it's Devin Singletary or Zach Moore. I don't care which one it is. Make one of them your guy that gets 15 plus carries. Give them enough carries to the point where people, because if you do that, Wade Davis has announced his retirement.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, look, if we're going to be honest, the only reason he retires is because no one gives a shit about him. Can we call it what it is? Let's call it what it is.
Chicago,
it's the same thing with Scooter Gennett. It's like the same thing with Scooter Gennett. He want to retire. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm out because no one. But that is funny. They're probably going to try to make a big deal out of it. But here's the problem I have with the Bills. If you give, because here's the thing, right?
Right.
I see them do play action, running the ball 4 or 5 times. I'm like, who do you think you're fooling?
Right.
I'm like, look, she even knows you're not running the ball. Who are you fooling, bro? Like, who are you fooling? And to me, that really blows my mind.
Yeah.
And you're back. It blows my mind. I don't get it. It's confusing. Jason, I want to pose this question to you. Do you think, based on how both teams are playing, do you think that the Bills and Ravens have been figured out?
Offensively.
I hear you loud and clear. Oh, yeah. Yep. What he said resonates. By the way, Damien, he's a MLB pitcher, so.
He's a closer. Wade Davis was a closer for the Kansas City Royals.
He was solid. He was
solid. Yeah.
He was amazing.
Solid, but I mean,
it's not breaking news.
Right. Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen the writing on the wall.
Yo, Jason, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you now.
All right, cool. Bet. So this is the last question I'm kind of posing. Let me throw it over to you. Do you think that the Ravens and the Bills, do you think they're being overhyped and that teams have started to figure them out?
Man, the Bills, I'll tell you what, Josh Allen's looking like he's trying to get figured out. I think the Ravens are going to be fine because, man, I think once Lamar Jackson gets back, man, of course, that's Lamar Jackson, man, they're going to be just fine. But definitely the Bills. I think the Bills are starting to get figured out. That's what kind of worries me. I still think they're a top team, but man, they're kind of taking a downward turn right now. Just like Cleveland Browns are taking a huge downward turn from where they were last year.
Right.
So you see, yeah, I think the Bills, yes. I think the Ravens are still on point though.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's gonna be very interesting to see how both teams. Because I'll be honest, like I said, I say this joke a lot. They're literally the Bizarros of each other. Like the Ravens love to run the ball, and the Bills love to pass. If they could do the fusion dance, they would be one of, if not the most dangerous team in the league.
The Ravens are running still the same team, the same concept. They're still running the same concept as they did when they won the Super Bowl. I mean, they're a run-first team, and then they pass. And they've been doing that concept for years. Tampa Bay did the same concept when Trent Dilfer was there and John Gruden. I mean, they have great defenses. They have a great run, have great offensive line, and they run first and pass second. And all they are is clock management. Right. They did great clock management.
Look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm just glad that the greatest organization that ever graced God's green earth home to the greatest head coach to ever grace God's earth.
Detroit.
Former home of the greatest quarterback to ever wear cleats and walk onto a field, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because we already know, I got to say his name one time per episode. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. Now, he has a father. We're not talking about the father. We're talking about the prodigal son, Junior. I just got my New England Patriots are in first place. This is how you know it's down bad. We're going to be in first place for about a week. And this is the pinnacle, the high point of our season. That's how you know there's going to be some rough times ahead with Bill Belichick, with him guiding the boat, and Mac Jones next to me, patting my back and comforting me. J.C. Jackson, I'm starting to listen to him. I'm just glad we were able to keep it, right, Mama?
Yeah, I hate to say it, man, but New England, man, hey, they're on the march, man. They got the right quarterback that fits the system with the right coach. I mean, when you got a quarterback, a coach, and alignment, and the system works.
And we just finding running backs nowadays. We're just finding them. But, 2 hours, 15 minutes. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. This was a fun morning. Yo, Mike, do you have any closing remarks?
Fire Matt Nagy.
Yes, sir. Coach, what you got for me?
What I got to get prepared tonight for the torture that my Rockets may take against the Chicago Bulls. When you're turning the ball over 19 times a game and you got Eric Gordon still out there and John Wall still on the fucking bench, that pisses me off. And Josh Christopher doesn't get any minutes at all, but you want to keep Eric Gordon that want to get up there and jack up shots every single time. That makes me upset, but I got to get prepared for the torture tonight. So again, Steven Silas, I think his head getting on the spike every single day. We lose a game.
I'm sorry.
It's unfortunate. I thought this team would be better. We have the talent, but when you lose a game, every time you lose a game on the same goddamn mistakes every single time, it's frustrating. If we're not losing the game, we're losing the game on turnovers. We're losing the game on free throws, turnovers, free throws. We lead the league in turnovers. Don't y'all know how much we average a game? 19 turnovers. That's 20. That's 19 times you don't get a shot up every game. That's 19 more possessions that the other opposing team are getting more than we are. So right now, this team is a flat out mess. But I can't even rage no more because I already know how this team's gonna come out and play. And I already know we're rebuilding. But it's been awesome, man. Every morning to get on the show and talk basketball and football with you guys every time we link up. But I'm just getting prepared for the atrocity I'm about to get into tonight. So Mike, no need to apologize, Mike. Guess what? You got a great team over there, man. You got an awesome team, and I respect the hell out the Chicago Bulls. Got an awesome team.
I'm still sorry.
I'm so sorry. But Mike don't throw it in your face because you're respectable.
Yeah.
That's why Mike is kind of letting it go by. So kudos to Mike on that. Jason, you got any final words?
Listen, I think y'all are all wrong with the whole Freddie thing and what he should give up if the Lakers lose and this, that, and the bet and the whole bet thing. What we should have been talking about is if the Lakers lose, Freddie has to actually pick a team to go with in the NFL. That would have been great. If he could have actually picked a team and got him on tape saying who his official team is, then we could have held him accountable every time he wanted to bring up a match, Aaron Jones or whatever. That would have been a great bet. Secondly, look, man, the Rockets are young. We're rebuilding. We're going to go through the hiccups. But one thing I know is this. The one constant always remains, Les Alexander is still the owner, and he was the owner during the Rockets championship years. He still has the same mentality. He's a competitive guy. Or actually, no, Les doesn't own it. The other guy owns it. I'll take that back. Oh, my Lanta, that's how old I am. Hey, Coach Dante, that's how old. I'm thinking Les Alexander. I forgot that he done sold the damn team. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I guess we're going to keep tanking. Coach Dante, I think we're going to keep tanking, keep getting the draft picks, and then see what comes up after that. But I still think it's too young for the Rockets, man. We're year one in the rebuild mode. See, the problem is
expected this to go down. I just wanted to see, again, I watch the Rockets because I want to see Jalen Green. I want to see Michael Porter, Kevin Porter Jr. I want to see the growth and develop of the young talent. So it's not like I didn't expect this year to be bad. I expected it to be bad, but I didn't expect us to be 1-16 and losing the game on the same down areas.
Man.
Yeah.
Listen, we got rid of everything. The problem is we're so used to it. Listen, man, we've been competitive. The Rockets have been competitive for a really long time.
Yeah, for a long time.
We may not have been, number one in the playoffs, but we've been in the playoffs for a long period of time. And now we're having to go through the growing pains of being at ground one of the floor.
Yeah,
it's gonna take some time watching this team grow, but it's gonna get there. I have faith in my Rockets.
I got faith in them too, man. I've been a Rockets fan since I was 4 and 5 years old. The first 2 championships when Elijah Warren straight carried this goddamn organization.
What did Damian say?
Jim Boyle. Man, you don't even remember it, man, but I've been a Rockets fan since in 1986 when Ralph Sampson and Kim Olajuwon took the Celtics at 86 in the finals. We lost it. Yep. We got close to getting the Celtics.
We beat the Lakers. We beat the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs.
We did.
I remember that.
Yeah, we did. All right, I'm done.
Obviously, it's always fun to come out here and chop it up with y'all. It's always fun. It's always a pleasure. We will be here tomorrow morning. Whoever was here, that's who's here. I will be here because Thanksgiving is the one time of year where I try to be a good guy past 1:30. You know what I mean? Like when I go see my fiance's family, I try to be a good guy. Before then, I'm going to be disrespectful and blasphemous. So understand something. Tomorrow morning, y'all going to catch a very, very disrespectful pride. I just want to throw that out there. On behalf of Mike, Coach Dante, and Jason, it has been your boy Pride, and we will see you guys on the next one. Miami, say bye-bye.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we're making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports all plays.